The Bay Area Disc Association is a nonprofit organization that fuels the local development of ultimate Frisbee, with instruction for new players and dozens of high-quality leagues and tournaments that help make the Bay Area a hotbed for this great sport.
Bay Area Disc has dozens of programs for people of all different ages, skill levels. So whether you're a kid just starting out, going to our clinics, or if you're an adult elite club player playing in our Revolution tournaments, we have something for everybody.
It's a 4-horse race at the top of the West Division as the leaders dig in for the stretch run of the 2017 AUDL season. Can the FlameThrowers exact revenge on the Cascades, their victory in the playoffs last season, or can Seattle begin another run to the AUDL Championship Final? From a cool and breezy Laney College in Oakland, the San Francisco FlameThrowers welcome the Seattle Cascades live on the Bay Area Online Sports Network. Alongside Matt Ruby and our sideline reporter, Joaquin Wallace, my name is Stephen Davies, welcoming you to the beginning of the longest homestand of the season for the FlameThrowers, as they will host the next 4 games here at the friendly confines of Laney College. Since we last saw the FlameThrowers here at home back on the 22nd of April, SF took both games of a back-to-back 2 weekends ago in Los Angeles and San Diego, eking out close victories against both teams to maintain a joint lead at the top of the West Division, alongside the surprising Spiders with the Aviators and the Cascades a game behind. As we say good afternoon to Matt Ruby. Rube, Seattle is a team that San Francisco not only has to beat for divisional supremacy, but also to erase the memory of playoff losses in the previous 2 seasons, most recently coming after the FlameThrowers took the West Division crown last season. How much would it mean to this team to take a victory here against the Cascades at home?
It's big. They have got to, like you said, it's a 4-team race right now. You've got 4 teams with 1 loss. These teams need to start separating themselves from one another. The FlameThrowers need to start trying to make some room between them and the other teams in this division. So far, I've been really impressed with all 4 teams at the top. 1 loss at this point in the season is pretty impressive. Particularly impressive is going on the road and winning 2 games. Not the FlameThrowers did that, but the Spiders also did that. So far you've got the 2 Bay Area teams making some noise on the road and really putting, I think, the fear of God into the rest of the league. In terms of these 2 teams today, the FlameThrowers are aligned with Revolver. They have sort of formed an unofficial partnership, or perhaps even an official partnership. So the vast majority of their players are going to be Revolver either tryouts or Revolver players. Last year, the Cascades had a similar relationship with Sockeye, which is the best team out of Seattle. This year, they're not associated with Sockeye anymore, so it's almost a bit of a role reversal from these 2 teams. And the best players in Seattle, arguably, are not represented on this Seattle team. However, San Francisco, the Bay Area, and Seattle both benefit from an incredibly deep, deep, deep pool of talent. So I expect this game to be very competitive today. And I expect that some of these Seattle guys who I'm not familiar with, and I'm really excited to see who they are, I think they're going to come out and play a good game.
As for Seattle, their only loss this season came at the buzzer to San Jose at home, and then they took an impressive victory also at home in the second game of the 4-game AUDL Cross Coast Challenge, the first time that the AUDL has had intra-divisional rivalries during the regular season. They took a 26-24 victory over the Pittsburgh Thunderbirds. And You've hopped on it a little bit here in our pregame, but it was an off-season of upheaval, I think it's safe to say, in the Pacific Northwest last season with the dissolving of the relationship with Sockeye. And perhaps one of the toughest rebuilding programs that any team in the AUDL has had to have, especially with a team, of course, that made a run all the way to the final in 2016.
The thing that the Cascades really benefit from is that up until last year, there were 2 pro leagues. There was the AUDL, and there was another pro league called the MLU, or Major League Ultimate. So last year, there was a Seattle team. They were called the Seattle Rainmakers. And what that meant is there were a bunch of guys who have a lot of pro experience. So they're not going to necessarily walk in here in these first couple of games and start feeling out like the changes in rules, the changes in the scale of the field or the flow of the game that is going to be different from their typical USA ultimate teams. So that was a really big benefit, I think, from the Cascades perspective, that they knew that there was a pool of guys who were already familiar with the pro game and were already perfectly established good players, maybe not quite as talented and maybe not quite as deep as the Cascades were last season and Sockeye were last season, but they still have very good players.
We'll be back then with more. So a little change of plan here. The high school showcase game ran a little bit late in, prior to the matchup between the FlameThrowers and the Cascades. So we will be ready for the first poll here in just a matter of moments here from Laney College in Oakland. San Francisco coming in with a 4-1 record. Seattle a 3-1 record. As we mentioned, Seattle's only loss coming to San Jose, as it was for San Francisco as well, Roops.
Something I think is we should pay pretty close attention to is how fatigue is going to could play a factor for the FlameThrowers. They have only dressed 18 players to date. Normally AUDL game day roster is 20 guys. You don't think that 2 less guys is going to make a difference, but it really can.
So with more about the Cascades and their playoff exploits, let's now send it down to the third member of our broadcast team, Joaquin Wallace, down on the field.
I tell you what, it is windy down here on the field in Laney College. You have 2 teams tonight that are matching up. Seattle's coming in with a record of 3-1. They made the travel all the way down from Seattle, Washington. It's the home team FlameThrowers of San Francisco coming in with a record of 4-1. Should be an interesting matchup. The wind should play a factor in today's game. We'll see how it works out, but San Francisco coming in with a record of 4-1. They understand if they're able to win this game, they can take control of the Western Division. Should be an interesting matchup. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Joaquin. And certainly the wind is going to be a factor here tonight. Of the 3 games that we've broadcast this season here at Laney College, it is by far the windiest conditions that the players have had to deal with.
Definitely. I was out playing a little Ultimate this morning in Berkeley, and it was howling. Like it's for this time of year, it's really, really, really windy. The Rising Stars game, it was a bunch of young women players who were either college players, some are high school players. A lot of them play club. What was interesting to me, though, is that those players did not have a lot of trouble scoring upwind. I don't know if that's a testament to really great bunch of players, really, a great set of throws. But I thought it was quite windy, but those ladies handled it pretty well. We
did notice, though, when we were here for the game back on the 29th of April, that the wind seemed to taper off as the sun began to set.
Definitely. The sun is still pretty high in the sky here. I wouldn't say we're looking at sunset for another, or it's not sunset necessarily, but it sort of drops below the buildings that we can see off in the background there, maybe in about 30 to 45 minutes. So these windy conditions, I'm fully expecting them to be windy and breezy, and it's really an upwind, downwind sort of situation. Camera right is where the wind is blowing from, sort of that's the side of the bay, if you will, down to the left side of the field, which is working more, I guess that's south, right? So it's sort of north and south. The field's sort of oriented more of a north and south. So it's kind of a direct southbound wind, and it was blowing pretty hard.
So the starters being announced then for the visiting Seattle Cascades. And I will give you those starters here in just a few minutes. We await the entry of the FlameThrowers.
Somebody to definitely watch today is number 99, Khalif El-Salam.
Sure.
Dynamic player, springy, fast, great throws, just exciting. They're just announcing him right now, number 99. He's one of these guys that you really can't take your eyes off him once he gets it going.
So the starters then for Seattle, number 13, John Doherty, number 15, Tommy Lee, number 22, Evan Klein, number 32, Alex Duffel, number 37, Mitch Kulzak, number 52, Zach Jackson, and number 99, the aforementioned Khalif El-Salam, as we now await the FlameThrowers.
John Randolph, who you're seeing there, number 6, he's 18. He's got braces. I just walked by him and said hello. He is really very, very good for being very, very young. The level of play from very young players now, I just find astounding.
We have number 2, Kevin Cox.
If I had to guess, I would say they're starting on D here. Cox is definitely a D player, but it's possible they will have shifted things around from their traditional roles. Because the FlameThrowers today are missing quite a few players. Grant Lindsley's not here. We've only seen him play in one game for the FlameThrowers all season, and what a game it was. It was the opening day against the Spiders. The other Carleton guys, Pat Bayless and Sam Canner, are back in Minnesota. Carleton Ultimate has a long-standing tradition of sort of a reunion weekend where alumni will head back to town. It's one of the, sounds like a really awesome tradition and a really great weekend. I know a lot of men and women who go back. Sort of a yearly pilgrimage back to the motherland. But also no Mac Taylor today for the FlameThrowers. But someone we have not had a chance to see in person who was a late addition is number, I'm trying to find his number right here. Can't find him on the list. Eli Kearns.
I did see Kearns was dressed.
He's here, yeah.
We'll go to the national anthem. We'll discuss that when we come back. It's a packed house in Laney College as the San Francisco FlameThrowers will face off against the Seattle Cascades in what should prove to be a highly entertaining encounter as all 6 teams in the West Division are in action here tonight. Stephen Davies alongside Rubes and Joaquin Wallace. And final thoughts before we get started here, Rubes.
I think that we'll talk a little bit more as the broadcast goes on about what some of the FlameThrowers players have been dealing with, but I know that a lot of them had Revolver tryouts this morning, and they have more tryouts tomorrow. So normally the road team, I feel like, is at a big deficit when it comes to sort of resources, energy, things that they can dig deep if they're trailing in a game or it's a very long point, like recovering from very difficult, exhausting ultimate. I'm going to be really interested to see, as this game progresses, if the FlameThrowers are suffering a little bit of that energy deficit as well, because a lot of them played this morning. So that might balance sort of that advantage. That home field advantage may not be quite as big an advantage as we have anticipated and have seen in past games.
The starters in for the FlameThrowers: number 2, Kevin Cox; number 6, Joel Schlackett; number 9, Cassidy Rasmussen; number 22, Marcelo Sanchez; number 20, Nathan White; number 35, Lucas Dahlman, who's having an outstanding season for the FlameThrowers. And rounding out the starters, number 50 will be Bo Kittredge.
First time we will have seen Nathan White in person ourselves. He was on the road trip last week.
And we are underway then from Laney College. The battle at the top of the West Division between these two longtime rivals. And chatting with you before the game here tonight, Rubes, these are two teams that perhaps not all that fond of each other at the end of the day.
No, the Bay Area versus Seattle rivalry is alive and well. They don't have to face each other to get to USA Ultimate Nationals. They don't have to deal with each other in regionals, but they did for years. And both teams, both groups always have, ooh, that was a tight window. Ooh, is that a catch? No,
it was not. Cassidy Rasmussen can't come up with that. Kevin Cox there tried to thread it through to him, and Seattle now in possession for the first time.
Seattle has traditionally run a sort of offense that's a little different from everybody else's. They run a heavy give-go sort of a motion offense. They're going to like dish it and go, dish it and go, dish it and go. They're going to keep the disc moving, not necessarily tunneling downfield, turnover. And what we're going to see the FlameThrowers do is, if any indication from past games, they're going to create space and isolate their cutters and give that person a long time to work. They're going to give them 4 or 5 seconds to get open. Seattle usually has not played that same sort of style. They're going to move the disc, kind of bang, 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 pinballing it around the field.
So it was Cam Smith-Bailey with the drop there for Seattle. Now the FlameThrowers have possession. Here's Kittredge.
Great example there. Watch Dahlman work his man for a good 3 or 4 seconds before he comes underneath to get it.
Dahlman.
Confusion there. They clean it up. Cox is uncovered. Oh, that's just a bad throw from Rasmussen. Wearing his glasses today. Maybe he left his contacts at home.
So both teams a little sloppy here in the early going.
Yeah, I don't think the wind is really taking effect quite so much. Just a little, ooh, big bomb. It's probably going to get D'd.
And Kittredge will rise up, but it's wide to deflects it away. So waiting for our first goal here early on.
That's a nice crossfield throw.
That was from Dahlman. Now over to Sanchez on the far side. Sanchez leading this FlameThrowers team with 15 goals on the season here in 2017.
Wow, yeah, kind of quietly. I don't feel like I've seen him, make any spectacular like layout grabs or jumping over crowds. He just gets the job done. Schlackett wide open. Bo fakes the scuba and looks it off. There we are. Nice.
Back over to the near side, and it's Schlackett with the first goal of the day for San Francisco. So they'll take a 1-0 lead. That goal took 2 minutes and 23 seconds to get on the board.
Could be that kind of night.
It could be. And compared to some of the how little time the FlameThrowers have wasted in the previous games we've had here at Laney College, this took quite a lot longer.
This is a nice little two-man game. Schlackett throws a little inside out and high release the spot. El Salam is recognizes that he's beaten. He's not going to really be able to close up that gap. That was looked like it was a force to our closest sideline, which would have been a force backhand. Oh, they put pants on the flame.
Probably a good idea, I would think. Going back quickly to Sanchez, though, 8 of his 15 goals this season came on that road trip down to LA and San Diego. He had 6 goals against the Aviators. So, as you said, quietly, Sanchez is leading this star-studded FlameThrowers team in goals here as we approach the midpoint of this 2017 season.
We didn't get to watch that game, so maybe there were some incredible, spectacular layout catches.
It could well be.
Skying the crowd and spiking it on all their heads or something like that. You never know.
So Seattle down by a goal. And here's Adam Simon.
Also known as Chicken, best known as Chicken. Longtime handler who he's played for many, many, many good teams over the years. Boston, he's played for Revolver in the past. And he's, this is what he does. Nice throw.
Knocks it deep and can't come up with a catch. There was Donnie Clark, who had a couple of steps on Brett Peterson.
Oh, and then he comes back with a hand block. Nice play by Clark.
So Clark there able to extend the paw and deflect the disc into the ground. Now Seattle will get back to work with Mario O'Brien. He's wearing number 3.
KG handler Mario O'Brien. Very nice.
There was a toss to Mark Burton, and looked like it was Brad Hauser with the goal for Seattle.
Number 60, Brad Hauser, yes, sir. Burton's another Sockeye player, as is Donnie Clark. Burton has been one of these guys who's played a lot of Pro Ultimate over the years. Nice inside-out break. Defender is completely out of position. The initial marker is just totally out of position, but it was he probably got spun, so his cutter probably ran him up line and then planted and came under. Nice inside-out break from O'Brien.
So that's Hauser's 12th goal of the season. He leads all Cascades players.
So that shot from Simon to Clark could have been playing a little bit of position, where if it's a very, very stiff upwind, downwind sort of game, the last thing you want to do is turn over the disc on your half of the field if you've got the wind at your back. So that opens it up for you sort of have a little more carte blanche to take bigger shots deep, because it's going to be tougher for an offensive team to work it upwind against you.
Kittredge turns away from his marker, takes a deflection.
That was a hand block. That was a hand block on that high release.
And that was Cam Smith-Bailey there with the deflection. Goal apiece here early on in the first quarter of play. Smith-Bailey in possession of the disc. Now over to Khalif Al-Salam, also known as Leaf.
Nice crossfield swing to O'Brien. That's
Alex Duffel. Nicely done by Smith-Bailey there to keep this alive.
There. Oh, that's good.
Goes up top.
Yep.
And El Salam will make it there easily to give the Cascades a 2-1 lead.
That's a break.
That's his 6th goal of the season.
Salam is a funny guy to watch run. I've watched a bunch of his Callahan video, the Callahan, not Callahan, excuse me, the award for the best college player. And when he gets running, he has this interesting kind of hitch. And you can see it's, you see that? He's sort of like not really a smooth runner. When he really kicks it into gear, you can tell because he's kind of like chugging, you know? But he's very, very fast. So I guess it works for him.
It certainly does, and it's working for the Cascades now thanks to goals from Hauser and Leaf. They have a 2-1 lead.
So that's 2 hand blocks we've just watched. Peterson got hand blocked on the previous point, and then Kittredge gets hand blocked on a high release backhand. So active marks from the Cascades.
This is a team, though, that the FlameThrowers have had trouble beating in recent memory. After winning the first 4 encounters between these two teams, they've only gone 4-1 since. And that, of course, counts the 2 losses in the playoffs. In 2015, the FlameThrowers lost 21-19.
Oh, man.
Last year, they lost 23-17. The FlameThrowers were heavily favored in that playoff bracket, I should say. The Cascades have ended their playoff hopes 2 years in a row.
So it's just a bad turnover from Nathan White, just a poorly executed inside-out forehand. Oh, another turn. Wow, it is. We were talking a little bit before the game. I said it could be a little sloppy tonight because it is pretty windy down there. So certain throws are going to be tough to throw into the teeth of the wind. Inside-out forehands coming this way, coming upwind, are difficult. Oh, that's a nice throw.
That's a great throw from Lucas Dahlman. Schlackett is there already with a goal on the day, waits for Sanchez to arrive.
He's got a little bit of help. There's a little bit of multiple players downfield for Seattle to stop the fast break. Smart.
Kittredge would dump that off to Rasmussen.
Wants to throw it inside out. There it is.
And then Schlackett for his 2nd goal of the half. So it's tied up at 2 apiece. On patient build-up play there for the FlameThrowers.
Nice. That's a great example. That's the perfect word I was going to say, patient. You could see that there's no panic. People aren't freaking out and running around like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off. They get the disc to Rasmussen. They stack. They set up. Everyone's very calm. And this is the throw he wants the whole way. He wants to throw that inside out the whole way. Inside out forehand to Schlackett for the goal.
So 2 goals for, what do they call him? Rock'em, Sock'em, Schlackett? When they announced him on the, I heard
don't
it.
know
I
what they
can't
call
remember
him.
what they said, but I like
His
that.
name's Joel. I guess if you
name's
want to call him Rock'em Sock'em Joel, that's fine. Rock'em
Something
Sock'em.
like
the
that.
other guys down there, yeah, of course, Rock'em Sock'em Schlackett. Although I always associate Rock'em Sock'em with robots, you know, Rock'em Sock'em robots. But
Joel is not a robot.
no. So that's an upwind goal for the FlameThrowers right there. Let's see if they can maintain that advantage from scoring upwind. Ooh, somebody's wide open. Busted coverage there.
Brad Hauser now to
Burton.
Mark Burton.
Oh, there's a call. It's a whistle.
And the bid by Donnie Clark.
It was either an offensive foul or a pick.
Greg Cohen was...
They're signaling pick down there, which would explain why there were so many people tremendously open downfield.
So Seattle will maintain possession. 2-2 the score here, as we're already almost at the midpoint of the first quarter of play. Not a lot to choose between the two so far. Here's Burton.
See if they can get it around. Nice inside-out break. They seem to be pretty content here to really work it through the middle of the field. They don't swing it all the way across field. Ooh, nice break.
Nicely done there by Hauser for his 2nd goal of the half. And it's a 3-2 Cascades lead.
Let's watch this as the game progresses, but a lot of what we've seen and what is sort of common wisdom is that when the disc moves to the middle of the field, you want to continue it all the way across field. That disc moved to the middle of the field twice. They were content to keep it all in the middle of the field and then throw little inside-out breaks. and then that cashes it in. That's a broken mark. Those 2 inside-out forehand breaks open up that around backhand for the goal. But you'll notice that the Seattle players, the Seattle handlers, are not looking, once the disc moves to the middle of the field, they're not immediately looking for the around. So what that's going to do is it's going to open up those inside-out forehands pretty consistently, assuming it's a force flick in this case, force forehand. So I'll be really interested to watch that as this game progresses, because that's an interesting strategy that they want to hold it in the middle of the field. They don't want to move it all the way to one side.
Smith-Bailey with the pull.
Oh, got some coverage downfield. Oh, Callahan.
And a Callahan, and it's Evan Klein on the other end of another FlameThrowers mistake here in the first quarter.
Wow.
And that is going to fire up the Cascades.
That is El Salam's D. He came down and he shut down Nathan White, and Schlackett and White got a little confused there. And when Nathan White zigged, Schlackett was expecting him to zag.
Talk us through it, Rubes.
He's sort of thinking about it, and then Nathan's moving to his left, and that throw went off to his right. So that was El Salam coming down to cover that. There's a rule in Ultimate that you will hear people yell a lot, which is catch the pole, catch the pole, catch the pole. You don't want to let the pole hit the ground, because then it might roll around a little bit. You have to take your eyes off of what's happening upfield. Great example of that. If Schlackett had caught that pole, maybe that wouldn't have happened. Now, you don't also want to run the risk of dropping the pole. So if it's a big screaming blade or something like that, then you're allowed to not catch the pole. But generally speaking, you want to catch it. Little double team there from Seattle. There goes Schlackett. Oh, it's a nice throw. Oh,
unfortunately, Schlackett there looking for the hat trick.
The fact that he got a hand on that at all is remarkable.
Talk about remedying recent sins. That would have been some way to
redemption maybe.
Yeah,
there, huh?
no kidding.
Man, he makes up a lot of ground here, and he just misses it. Oh, man. Couldn't quite get his feet right. He looked like he was sort of stumbling towards the end there, but that's understandable. That throw was, by most accounts, completely passed and out of play.
In your opinion, a good time to call a timeout here by Coach Kawaoka?
Yes. Did they just get the disc back?
4-2 here, 5:14.
That might have been a Seattle timeout.
We'll take a short break, back with more from Laney College here in just a moment's time.
We're back.
We're back. So we're not quite sure if...
I'm pretty sure that was a Seattle timeout because that was a turnover that just resulted from that throw upfield.
So Ultimate has a new podcast, Scubalicious Ultimate, featuring in-depth player interviews, tips on how to improve your game, and the midweek Flamecast. It's available live on Facebook with reposts later on YouTube. And thanks to our friends at Douglas Parking and AirPark. Park at the airport and know your car is safe and there when you return. Douglas Parking, the best in local parking. So Evan Klein's Callahan, the emphatic stamp of this first quarter so far.
Sir.
5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And really that might have been the wake-up call the FlameThrowers needed.
Ooh. This is a floater. Nice, great catch.
Tremendous grab there by Mark Burton.
Oh,
and really nicely done. Donnie Clark with the goal. And Seattle right now are feeling themselves, Rubes.
Yes, indeed. They are slinging it. That was Chicken. Adam Simon gets the disc in the middle of the field. And like I said earlier, he is looking upfield. He is not looking to swing the disc or continue that swing cross field. He's looking to bomb it upfield. Burton with a great catch. And then a hammer for the goal. Nice. Clark is pretty open there. FlameThrowers are reeling a little bit here. They better start righting the ship. I know they're certainly have the mental fortitude to do it, but maybe there's not too much left in the tank, you know? Revolver tryouts were this morning. Could have been a long, hot 3-hour practice, and they are expected to come out here and sort of, you know, rise up again. This is not unusual when you're on an Ultimate team, though, especially at a tournament Nationals high-level tournament. You gotta show up game after game, and you sometimes play 4 or 5 games a day. Oh my!
Another mistake there. That time it's Dahlman. And Seattle now with a prime opportunity to take a 4-goal lead. With still 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Wow.
And there it is. And the Cascades can do no wrong at the moment. As John Doherty has his first goal. So we have 5 different scores now for the Cascades in the opening quarter of play.
Cascades dominance here, and it's not because they are generating Ds. It's not because they are getting blocks. These are a series of really mental errors from the FlameThrowers. A drop like that is unforgivable. I mean, Schlackett definitely threw that very, very hard, but it went through Dahlman's hands and hit him in the chest. I mean, something like giving up a Callahan or an example of that, you need to start to wonder if focus is lapsing here. In fact, Cohen is gathering up all of the players that are not on the field for the FlameThrowers right now and undoubtedly saying that same thing. Let's dig deep, let's focus. It's only a 4-point game. We're only in the first quarter. There's a long way to go.
We remembered a similar point in the opener against the Spiders, how Cohen
that landed in? No, it did land in. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, we think back to the opener against the Spiders when Cohen, in the second quarter, I believe, decided to put the team on his back.
He went bananas.
And he did.
He really did.
That might have really changed the outcome or the momentum shift in the game. Will the same thing happen here?
Well, at this point, all they got to do is play kind of some clean offense. It's a foul. FlameThrowers just got to march up and score here. It's not like all these guys have been in these positions before. You have a rough couple of points. You give up some sort of head-scratching, dingy turnovers. The other team gets very fired up, but you could write this shit pretty quick.
Kittredge back to Rasmussen.
Oof. It's harder than it needed to be. Oh, there's Dahlman wide open.
And Sanchez to Dahlman. Dahlman's first goal of the quarter trims the lead to 3.
All right, come down and get a D, and all is right in the world if they can do it.
But you're right, though. It's certainly no time to panic with more than 40 minutes of game time remaining.
Sanchez, little nice inside-out backhand for the goal to Dahlman.
So we mentioned all 6 West Division teams in action tonight. Intriguing matchup as the Spiders will host the Aviators at Foothill College in Los Altos. That's a massive game.
I think the Spiders are definitely riding high right now. They've got to be very excited.
Cody Kirkland with the pull.
Here's Simon. Simon's been pumping it. He's been slinging it.
Clock was wide open downfield. Instead, they go short to Jackson.
They're letting off that around break pretty easily. Simon gets it in the middle of the field. He's not looking to continue. He's looking to attack upfield.
Bryson Simon Fox, nicely done. And
here's Eli Kearns, who we haven't seen yet this season in person. Another revolver player, very, very good player. Oh, golly. Not the best idea of a throw.
Oh, nicely done all the same by Cohen.
Wow.
And Cohen finds Sawyer Thompson for the goal. And just as we alluded to, Cohen with a huge play.
Wow. Over a crowd. That was, I'm not going to mince words here, a terrible throw. That was a bad hammer. That's an upwind hammer. If you're going to throw that, you need to blade the living heck out of it. Otherwise, it's going to do what we just saw. It's going to float. It's going to float and give defenders a chance to get under it. He throws it pretty hard. But this throw is going to float. Cohen skies 3 guys. And a nice dish to Thompson for the goal.
And before Bryson Simon Fox had a chance to turn around, Thompson is already making his move towards the end zone.
I think Cohen probably ran past the entire Seattle defense to get into position. He had to wait under that disc for a second. So Kearns threw it to the right spot. It's just executing that throw in these conditions can be pretty tough.
Back-to-back goals in for the FlameThrowers has now cut this Cascades lead to 2. It's still 6-4.
Coming down hard on the mark.
That was Chanzo Vitiello.
Burton
coming forward.
Nice D by Cohen right there. He's not really biting any of the head fakes. He's the last man downfield now on 60. Ooh. They're forcing backhand here.
Devin Williams is tracking clocks every move.
Stuffed by Cohen. There he is again. There's your man. Now just got to cash this one in.
A little high there, but really nicely by Gival. Now back to Cohen.
Nice.
And almost making it a little more difficult than it needed to be, but still making the fine one-handed catch is Cenzo Vitiello with his first goal of the day.
There's Cohen, back-to-back plays. Absolutely stuffs a big backhand deep shot, pushing it, keeping the disc on there on the top third of the field there, putting it in striking distance for an easy goal. And then, like you said, this maybe it was a little harder than it needed to be. VTL is super open. But he caught it. That's what they're paid for. That's why you pay them the big bucks.
That's now 3 unanswered goals, so for the FlameThrowers, with 3:10 remaining in the first quarter of play.
When we watched Cohen in that first game, we were talking about him being a leader. This is a great example. He brings everybody together, maybe rips everybody into a little bit, but also gives them a little pat on the back, and then goes out and skies the crowd, throws an easy goal, and then absolutely stuffs the living heck out of a backhand. Simon wants to huck it. That's his whole game. El Salam. Yep, there he is.
Quick movement here by the Cascades.
Oh, big blade.
Burton over the top. Leaf is there with a catch.
Great throw. Really nice throw.
And El Salam is fired up.
El Salam's fast. We talked about how fast he is. With that throw that Burton just executed there has a pretty small margin for error. It's coming down. It goes up fast, comes down fast, but that's a wow. That's why they call that a blade. That sucker hustles in there. And Sawyer Thompson's actually in decent defensive position there, but the placement of the throw makes it impossible for him to be able to make a play on it. So great throw by Burton. Some happy fans. It's a beautiful night out there.
It really
right
is.
now.
And now the wind, just like all the other games we've done here so far, is kind of tapered off just a little bit.
Yeah. If it was super windy, that blade would have been bouncing around like crazy.
Schlocke picks this one up.
Side stack. Ooh, Sanchez is wide open.
There he is, Sanchez on the far side.
There's Kittredge ISO'd underneath. Oh, that's a floater. Good thing he's tall.
And Kittredge bobbles it and can't make the catch. It was Smith.
Oh, someone's going deep is open.
It was Smith Bailey that to make the deflection.
And then Smith Bailey takes off and was briefly open.
Sanchez is pursuing Smith Bailey. Here he is in the center.
It was a travel they got away with there.
And now Klein has it on the far side.
Nice around break.
And that's nicely done as Kulzak makes the catch for the score. So that makes it 6 different scores now for Seattle as they now have reestablished a 3-goal lead.
Great example of what I sort of consider to be traditional Seattle-style offense. They're moving the disc. They're just move it. They don't ever really stand around and sort of stare upfield. This is the D team. So the D team's going to come out here, and they're just going to go throw to the open guy, 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 and then something good happens. Great example right there. The O team, particularly Adam Simon Chicken, what we've seen a lot of him is he's getting the disc in the middle of the field, and he is then surveying the field, and he's looking for something deep. He's looking for Burton, he's looking for Clark, or he's looking for El Salam. Nice pull. Kill it. There you go.
The note of acknowledgement there from Dahlman saying, I got this one, don't worry about it. A little nod back there to Schlackett. Here's Nolan Walsh.
Cox is open, but El Salam is a fast defender. Cox got him. Wow. It seems like a lot of the catches are harder than, look a little more difficult than they should be. There's Dahlman. Nope. He's going to look that off and get it around. Smart. A little cluttered in front of Rasmussen there.
Sliding grab there by Marcelo Sanchez.
Seem to be pretty happy to just keep it on the trap sideline here. Ooh. Cox shook his man, but he couldn't get the throw off in time.
Now Rasmussen surveys the field, picks out Kittredge.
That's what they need. Get a little bit of space. Cuts are coming a little bit late there. There we are. Nice.
Nicely done by Dahlman to Sanchez for the goal. So Sanchez now has his first, or second, excuse me.
I think we talked about this in the past. When you see an offense really like jam it down one sideline, once they sort of work it past half field, sort of working the way to the other side of the field, everything suddenly opens up because then defenders are going to be overrunning. So here, defender overran that. So the catchers actually hit Dahlman before this throw to Sanchez. And the reason that he could do that is because the disc is moving cross field. So that's sort of the natural flow of the disc. So Dahlman's going to take his guy to that side, plant, come back underneath. He's wide open for Kittredge and then wide open for and then Sanchez is wide open again.
Cascades led 6-2 at one point here in the first quarter, but San Francisco have clawed their way back into the game, now trailing by 2.
Ooh, wow. That pull sails over everybody's head.
Caught John Randolph by surprise, and now O'Brien. Now to Simon.
Oh, boy.
Pressure is on. That's
Nice
scooped
catch.
up
I
off
thought
the deck by Randolph.
Dropping that one, yeah. Oh, wow.
So close there.
He lined that up, but he just missed it.
Nervous moments for Seattle now.
Oh,
Simon Fox hucks it downfield, giving chases. Burton and can't quite get there.
He was open.
He had beaten both Williams and
Peterson.
Yeah.
Man, Lior Guvol nearly did that on the goal line. He absolutely was anticipating that throw to space and just missed it. Oh, Burton. I think he might have gotten turned the wrong way on that one. That was also over the shoulder that he was not anticipating. He was running sort of closer to camera here, facing us, and that disc actually was over his left shoulder, so he had to turn and try to find it.
This, I believe, is a San Francisco timeout.
Yes, this is a San Francisco timeout.
Coach Kawaoka calls timeout here with the Cascades leading 8-6 here in the first quarter from Laney College. So we'll try and give you some score updates from around the league, but we'll do that after we take a break. So back with more from Laney College here in just a moment's time. Back at Laney College and in the waning moments of this first quarter of play, thanks to our friends at Air Park. Park at the airport and know your car is safe and there when you return. Douglas Parking, the best in local parking. Also, Waxy Supply. Waxy Sanitary Supply, the most trusted source in clean.
FlameThrowers are coming out in a very interesting alignment here. They're going with one dump, and it's sort of almost like a 5-man horizontal stack. Really unusual. I haven't seen that before from them.
Rasmussen with the disc.
Oh!
Rasmussen goes up top. Giving chases. Dahlman has to make a slight adjustment and is able to get there for the score, leaving Alex Duffel in the dust.
Great throw. Nice. That was clearly a stop disc play, because Dahlman was set up, if you kind of count from furthest away to closest to us, he was the second cutter working your way towards camera. The guy deep of him comes underneath, and then he goes deep. Once that man comes underneath, who's on the outside of that horizontal stack, Dahlman has nothing but green grass in front of him, and a nice throw from Rasmussen.
13 goals now on the season for Dahlman. He also has 8 Ds, and 5 of those came on that weekend series against Los Angeles and San Diego. So Dahlman really getting it done this season for the FlameThrowers.
I give that one to Coach Kawaoka. That's a good timeout. That's a play. That's a one-throw goal off of a timeout.
This pull will hang up for a long time.
I don't know what defense they're coming at, and there we are. Okay, there were 3 men back and only 2 people defending him.
Is there enough time for the Cascades here at the end of the first quarter? Almost taken away. Now back the other way they come.
Oh, Antoine.
It's Simon and Davis swats it away.
He said he played free safety. There it is right there.
And that's twice now he's done that in this first quarter of play. And Davis prevents what could have been another Cascades goal here before the end of the half.
Nice D. He comes in. That's not his man. That's Thompson's man who's going deep. And Davis drops off his own person and comes down to make the play.
11 Ds now for Davis.
14 seconds is plenty of time to score here.
Here's Cohen.
Ooh, there's Sawyer Thompson, really open. Oh, gets looked off. They're going to have to take a shot into the end zone.
Kittredge looks around, nicely done, one-handed catch.
Oh, they can tip it. Nope.
And it's going to be claimed easily by the Cascades. 1 quarter in the books then from Laney College here. As we'll go to break, it's 8-7 Cascades. Back with more in a moment.
Our work is something to be proud of. We make the products people use, the products that make their lives simpler, the high-tech tools to help defend our country, and the innovations that will shape the future. Some say American industry can't keep up anymore. I say our work is proof that made in the USA still means something. The power professionals of the IBEW, proudly American, proudly union.
One of our successes has always been able to find the B personalities, and the B personality just stands for Butler, which means fitting into our organization. We could have been a much bigger company if we had chosen to be, but it's been the philosophy of both myself, Bill, and the leadership team to stay at a size that we really know all of our team members and their family members, because we're only as good as the team member sitting next to us.
8-7 Cascades then after 1 quarter here at Laney College. To send it down now to the third member of our broadcast team, Joaquin Wallace.
Talking about a very inspired first quarter. Seattle came out ahead early, but the FlameThrowers wrote the ship. They're down by 1 right now. As we talked about earlier, Seattle has beaten San Francisco the last 2 years in the playoffs, so they do have an advantage. But again, San Francisco comes in with a record of 4-1, Seattle with a record of 3-1. The second quarter should be interesting. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Joaquin. It was an interesting first quarter, to say the least, and perhaps what we haven't seen from the FlameThrowers here at home so far this year, Rubes.
I don't think we've ever seen them fall behind by 4 goals.
No, we haven't.
I don't think we've seen them fall behind at all.
Yeah. Maybe a goal or 2 at the most.
At the most, yeah. But, I mean, it seems like whatever was ailing them mentally to start this game, they've shaken it off.
Yeah.
It's fun watching really good Ultimate players recognize when they need to pay close attention to the basics, like catching. Great example was when Dahlman very deliberately catches the disc off that pull to him. So, the good athletes, good players, strong-minded people, they're gonna shake off those sort of mistakes, and they're gonna use them as fuel to push forward for the rest of the way. So they might have turned a corner here.
We're looking at this shot now, and you can see Cohen on the right side of your screen. Always seems like he's coaching up his team. You alluded to it a little bit back in the first quarter when he pulled the guys aside, but it always seems like he has a kind word and a smile, but also is deadly serious about his game on the field.
From a coach's perspective, this is what you want. You want your players to take ownership over the results of the game, to hold one another accountable, and to do some of your work for you. You don't always want to have to be the guy that's out there, kicking everybody in the butt and, rallying the team. The leaders on the team are the guys that need to do that as much as the coach does.
Down by as many as 4, the FlameThrowers trail by 1 as we're back underway here in the second quarter from Laney College, week 6 of the AUDL season.
So Simon's quarterbacking here, number 10, and O'Brien is going to do a little quarterbacking as well. He's more of a sort of a reset handler. Doesn't have quite the threatening deep throws that Simon does. Wow, nice move up lane.
Yeah,
oh!
Really nicely done there by Clark. Threads it to O'Brien. Now Burton has it. Waits around for some support. O'Brien makes a cut.
O'Brien is proving me wrong here. He's definitely beating his man with quickness. Nice break.
Some really slick throws here from the Cascades on this particular possession, and that is deflected. It stays up and is caught by Simon Fox. And a goal for Seattle. The breaks go their way on that one, Rubes.
That throw was not to Simon Fox. That throw was to Adam Simon, who is cutting behind Simon Fox. But Fox's defender gets his hand on, I believe that was Peterson. That throw is not to him. That throw was to Simon, Adam Simon, who you saw in the background there.
Yep.
Gets caught, and then Livor Gil gets kind of put in the blender there. He's in big trouble there because he's dealing with an unmarked thrower. Nice D by Peterson. He's in there to clog the lane, but that was You saw that Burton threw one blade for a goal, and you start with some of these players, you almost don't want them to complete their first one. You almost want them to complete their first hammer or their first blade, because it's a lot like in the NBA, you know, some guy gets hot, like they drain some crazy three, and the next thing you know, they're just knocking them down left and right.
Rubes, remind me who scored the goal, please.
Adam Simon scored that goal.
Simon, thank you.
Chicken
with his first goal of the day.
Ooh.
Almost taken away there by Evan Klein.
Couldn't really take advantage of that. Normally when you have a defender that overruns you like that, you have a wide open look upfield.
Lots of time for Rasmussen here into the center for Cox.
Doing a good job of isolating cutters one after the next. Wow.
And Dahlman makes it look easy. That's his third goal of the day.
That's kind of textbook ultimate right there. The disc was, they kept it on the top half of the field, and they just isolate one guy after the next. He takes his man 5-step deep, plant, come under. Next guy takes his man 5-step deep, plant, come under. And then the last one just takes his man deep and he's open.
It seems like the flamethrowers, though, Rubes, have begun to settle into this game now.
I agree.
9-8 the score then.
Nice throw. Dahlman's super open.
You get the feeling, though, this is going to be a game that could be decided by one particular, perhaps a mistake or something in the fourth quarter of play that could really turn the tide.
Yeah,
but
it's a good thing for the flamethrowers that they made a bunch of their errors very early. They've got another, 36 minutes to to correct them, and they're only down 4 after that big Cascade run.
So O'Brien has it.
Nice
Over the far side,
break.
Tommy Lee.
Ooh, O'Brien is doing a good job of getting open up field. He takes a couple steps towards the dump to get his defender moving that way. Nice. There's a little bladey flick. Oh, there's that blade again. Oh, Cohen's maybe going to get a shot at this. Oh,
And Hauser out
Great
jumps
catch.
Cohen for the catch. And he gets the high fives from the fans on the side. They knew a fine piece of play when they saw it, and that's a fine bid and an even better catch.
Great catch. Seattle might be getting a little cute here. They're throwing these high floating bladey forehands that maybe the wind has died out there. The flag is still blowing a little bit, but look at this. This thing is like, this floats for a long time. Whoa, my goodness. Cohen really, really had a shot at that. I guess it's not that windy. There's the flag. It's not blowing. It's not really like, super duper stiff. So
Yeah, but I'm looking at the wind indicators on the top of the football goalpost, and just now they were
going
they
pretty
were
good.
slack. No, they were right up against the goalpost.
Huh. Yeah, so if the winds have died, that's going to benefit both teams' offenses, obviously. And Seattle seems to be comfortable making riskier throws. Oh, Eli
Dahlman's-
Kearns just runs right by his guy. Great throw
Can
from
Kearns get
Dahlman.
there?
Oh.
He can.
Wow. Great run by Eli Kearns. Funny story, I played Ultimate with his dad in college. So before he was even born, I knew his dad. But sometimes what you'll do as a cutter is you just put your head down and you run by your guy. And they're expecting you to make some kind of move, or you're going to plant and come under, and you just keep going. That's what he did. Eli just put his head down and ran downfield. He's going to probably... he might break up his cut or plant or come under based upon what his defender does. But once he crosses his defender and his defender's on his back, he's just saying, I'm open. Somebody find me deep. Somebody get me the disc deep.
Just so the audience knows, Rubes doesn't look a day over 25.
That's
so,
true, yes. Well,
so college.
I only shave once a week.
Teams trading goals, though, here in the beginning of the second quarter of play. Just 1:40 in. But it took over 2.5 minutes for that first goal. That is somehow scraped off the turf by Hauser. Now he goes looking for Clark, who makes a left-handed catch. That's a fine grab by Donnie Clark, as he was able to get a step there on Nolan Walsh.
Walsh is in decent defensive position there, but that's a great example of players who know one another, who have played together a lot. That's a throw to space where you have a lot of confidence in your receiver's speed and ability to, maybe the throw's not so great, he's got a good ability to box the guy out, create some space for himself. Donnie Clark is very fast. He's both fast and he's kind of a beefy dude. But this throw went up before Clark even started running to that portion of the field. He sort of worked his way down through the middle of the field there. He got his defender on his back, and the thrower just put it up to a spot with the force and let him run under it.
El Salam's pull will hang up, and FlameThrowers have it here.
Double team.
Schlock with the two-handed catch.
Side stack here. They're all stacked on the same side as the field as the disc. There's Cox. He's going to get it out to the open side, to the... Whoa. Sanchez, nice cut. Great cut.
Great throw from Cox. Now Sanchez has it. Dahlman is open in the center. He picks him out.
Kearns. Oh,
up top.
very
Kearns.
nice.
And that's his second goal now in this second quarter of play.
Nice throw from Dahlman. Little, kind of like a scoop high release backhand to a spot. That's all opened up by Sanchez's cut there. He took his man very deep. He took his man 35, 40 yards away from the thrower and then planted and come underneath. And that's that difference of styles that I was talking about there, is that they give him time to do that. There's a little scoop high release, kind of an inside-out high release backhand to a spot. Nice throw.
11-10 now, the score. Nothing to choose from these two, or nothing to choose between these two teams, I should say, since Greg Cohen's team talk. And the FlameThrowers answered after the Callahan with 3 goals of their own.
I would say that the FlameThrowers offense looks a little more steady. They're much lower risk passes, and Seattle taking higher risk shots that are paying off.
Double team here is Clark.
Yep.
Sends it over to Simon. Simon with the flick forward now to Hauser.
Oh, good double team. Good timing for that. It's late in the count.
And Hauser just had no choice but to try and...
Sneaky double team. That's late in the count. That was a good 3 or 4 seconds after the catch. And the double team was generated from behind the disc, from the dump. So Hauser didn't even see it coming until it was a little too late, and the double team was in position.
Can the FlameThrowers capitalize now and try and tie this one up? Sawyer Thompson has possession of the disc. Now over to Rasmussen.
Also not looking to move it to the middle of the field. Ooh, he wants to... There's Kirkland. Wow.
Oh, just...
Kirkland got very lucky on that one.
Solid hands there by Devin Williams as he was able to take that away from Mark Burton.
Now they're going to swing it all the way across field. Nice little inside-out break. Ooh, nice plant by Reinhardt.
Byron Liu has it to Reinhardt. Back to Liu, left-handed catch. Nicely done.
Kind of a two-man game on that half of the field. That was Byron and Reinhardt working it back and forth a little bit. The rest of the team is smart enough to stay out of their way, make sure that they have room in front of them so they can, so either Byron or Reinhardt can attack upfield. He's got nothing but kind of green grass there, or green plastic grass in this case. But the rest of the team is staying out of their way, so that means that you can, as that cutter that Byron just did there, that cut that Lou just ran there, he's probably going to run upfield looking for that exact inside-out break. And if it's not there, he's going to plant his feet. He's just going to come under and get something shallow and let his man run right by him.
Save for one throw, perhaps, on that possession. That was more of the high percentage completions that you were talking about earlier on.
Deliberate offense. Very deliberate.
Great shot there from our roving, intrepid debutant roving camera guy.
He's a debutante?
Well, no, but...
Does he have a nice dress? Or
no, but he's trying to get off the field as quickly as he can here.
A round break to Salam. Oh, boy. Somebody's open deep. Nice mark from Cohen. Clark was open deep. Oh, Peterson definitely cut that crossfield pass.
O'Brien had to get rid of that rather sharpishly.
Oh, nice break.
And a drop there.
Nice
by
break.
Tommy Lee.
Ooh, big chance here. Take the first lead of the game.
Tied up at 11 apiece. And I think you're right. It would be the first.
This is the D team, so we'll see how different their offense looks.
Brett Peterson gets us back underway.
Got to continue here from somebody. Lots of open people.
Gavall now to Walsh.
Still lots of open people. VTL. Oh, cross field.
Puts it up top.
Wow.
Looking for Davis, who makes a catch.
That was an amazing throw. Holy cow. That was an incredible throw.
Antoine Davis with the goal. But this is going to be some replay right now as the FlameThrowers have taken their first lead of the game with 7.5 minutes to go in the half. Let's take a look at this.
Throw here because he throws this from one sideline to the other. He must have seen Davis That's just a throw to space. That's all that is a throw to space. Wow. That's a throw to space recognizing the matchup. Burton is about 6 to 8 inches shorter than Davis. We've seen what Davis can do in the air. So
Indeed.
Even if you throw that with a little bit of a hang, you've got a big margin for error. But wow, that is a heck of a find from Cohen.
A big-time throw then from Greg Cohen to Antoine Davis, and the FlameThrowers from 4 goals down are now in the lead of the game for the first time.
Simon break, that's what he does. Throw a little around break or hucks.
Now Hauser.
Oh, swing it. There goes Simon. I don't know what
Ooh.
that was. That
That
was
was-
like an inside-out lefty push pass or something like that. That was a weird-looking throw.
Cody Kirkland there, inches away from making the catch.
Reinhardt's deep open. Open deep, I mean. Just got to get it off the line. Looks a little scattered. There goes Nate White. Very easy.
Nicely done there.
He doesn't really have much downfield here, and there's a Cascade defender who's sort of playing center field. Oof.
Tough catch made there
Yeah.
by Reinhardt. Big smile on his face
Little double
after he
team.
gets back up.
You get it around to White. There you are. All right, now they should be able to break this open.
Sanchez is
Yep.
open there for the goal. So Sanchez now has 3. The FlameThrowers have 5 different scorers, and the momentum now has clearly swung in this game, Rubes.
Absolutely, absolutely. You start to wonder what Seattle's got in their back pocket here, because when a team starts sort of doing these double teams that look like they're a little scattered or maybe not terribly well organized, you start to wonder if they're going to the well here, going to the bag of tricks a little too easy because they recognize that maybe they don't have what they need to really hang with just kind of your standard grinding out man-to-man defense.
Nathan White picks up Marcelo Sanchez, who has, by my count, 3 goals in the game, 18 now for the season. And Greg Cohen.
I
with
can't get
the
over
pull.
that throw that Cohen just threw. My God, that was incredible. That big cross fielder to Davis. Whew.
So the Cascades trailing by 2. Need a goal on this possession, you feel.
I would dare say. Cohen's got his man deep. Cohen's deepest right now. Nice D by Cohen. Nice D by everybody downfield.
And Evan Klein just couldn't get enough separation. Here he is in the
Oh, there
center.
it
That's a
is.
great run down the right side. It's Mitch
Nice
Kolzak.
run, yep.
He's cut off, though.
People are open deep. Seattle's looking a little ragged downfield here. A little tired, maybe. Yeah, guys are kind of trotting. The cutters are not moving quite at full speed.
It's Klein.
Oh boy.
Now Leaf.
Kearns comes in just to kind of throw a little chaff in there, make him think a little bit about it.
Stagnant a little bit now. The Cascades here at midfield. They'll go up top.
Oh, they're finally breaking
And there's
open.
patient
Very patient. Yep.
play by the Cascades.
Oh, nice inside up.
And that's a really fine finish. It was almost dropped there by
Yeah.
Kolzak, but he's able to hang on for a much-needed Cascades goal. That's his second of the day.
So the downfield guys, you see they're not quite moving at full speed right now, right? They're kind of jogging around a little bit, and positive for the FlameThrowers defense there to make the handlers really swing it back and forth for quite a long time. That was probably a good, 40 or 50 passes before they scored there.
At least.
So that's good defense from the FlameThrowers and excellent patient offense from the Cascades.
Tommy Lee, it was just millimeters
Nice
shy of the
little
line.
inside out. Ooh, yes, nice catch.
Trims the lead to just 1 now. But the FlameThrowers, to their credit, and Dahlman again there, you saw him make the signal. He's caught it with both hands. It's all good. I got it. I've been pretty much error-free ever since the middle of that first quarter.
Sanchez. Ooh, nice inside out. Oh.
And just as I spoke too soon there, as John Doherty is able to step in front of a FlameThrowers player.
Sanchez was working pretty hard that whole point. That was his cut there. He was grinding, and just got, oh, wow.
Oh, nicely
Nice
done.
Scuba.
Ben Bina with the catch and the goal. So that's Bina's first.
From Pickle, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, number 89 through
Yep.
that.
Bina's fired up, pounding the chest.
Scuba for a goal.
Doing the Casey the Sasquatch move there was Bina.
Whoop, nice little scuba. That wasn't Pickle. He was in the vicinity, but he didn't actually throw it.
That's right. Even Rubes makes mistakes once in a while, but that's a pretty important last 2.5 minutes there for the Cascades, because they've come back from the 2-goal deficit and forced San Francisco into a mistake, I should say.
Yep, that's just Beener. I believe whoever got that D, he doesn't give up there. He's going to keep working hard and run through to get that block.
Cam Smith-Bailey with words of encouragement for his Cascades team, as we are tied up now at 13 apiece. Another short pull there from the Cascades.
Kern's isolated. Now Cox is in the ISO'd position.
And he goes for Cox over the top.
Oh, that's a zingy throw.
And
Nice.
brilliant
Excellent D.
D, though, by Reed Hendrickson. First time we've called his name. A couple of players that haven't played a big part in this game so far. Hendrickson and Beta come up with big plays for the Cascades.
Tough throw from Kearns. That's a backhand that he tried to really blade around. And Hendrickson's in a great position to get that D.
Cascades having a little trouble moving the disc upfield at the moment.
Here we go. Here's that ding, ding, ding. Ooh, and El Salam uncorks one. Yeah, too much mustard on that hot dog indeed.
Just a little bit, though. I mean, Tommy Lee was open, but he needed afterburners to catch up with that one.
El Salam feels the mark closing down on him, so he wants to try to get that pass off as quickly as he can. There's Sanchez. Sanchez is working really hard downfield. He's been open a lot. Ooh.
Oh,
Cox
nicely done there.
That's just a tough catch from Cox. He barely gets a hand on it.
That's Hendrickson with his second big play. This one's going over the top. And fine catch made by Smith-Bailey for his first goal of the game. And the Cascades retake the lead.
Oh, and the dunk over the goalpost. Wow. Guy's got some ups. So that was El Salam with the hammer. Nice hammer. Put some heat on it. Put some zip on it.
That is perfectly positioned.
Perfect
though.
throw.
That is absolutely outstanding there from Khalif El Salam and Cam Smith-Bailey with his first goal of the half. 3.5 minutes to go.
The throw to Cox is sort of this inside-out high-release backhand. We've seen Dahlman throw a bunch of those today. That one floated a little too much and gives his defender a chance to go up and make a play on it. Cox got his hand on it, but it just sort of slipped out.
Dahlman has the disc for the FlameThrowers.
A little bit of trouble here. Just got to work it around until things sort of settle down. There's Rasmussen. Super open. Sanchez is working pretty hard. El Salam is playing really good defense on Sanchez right now.
And you mentioned it earlier that you were a little surprised that Sanchez was leading the team in goals, but a very solid play to say the least. But how does he do it so
solid.
under the radar, though, Rubes?
I think it's just because he just gets open. You know, he doesn't, like I said, he doesn't necessarily sky a crowd or, do the sort of the flashy stuff. Oh, boy. Man.
That is swatted emphatically by John Doherty. They're coming up with some big plays defensively now.
Sure
The
are.
Cascades, and back they come the other way. Doherty.
Bookends. Bookends.
John Doherty, impressive. 6 different scores now for the Cascades in the quarter. And tell me my favorite phrase again, because I forgot it since the last time I told you.
Conservation of greatness.
There we go. I need to get that tattooed on my arm for next time.
This is a nice throw. This has some heat on it. Oh, yeah. He had to throw it pretty hard because Cohen has the line on the disc. When you're beat like that, like Cohen just was, what you have to do is you basically cut the angle. He's running across the angle of the disc that it would travel if it was thrown flat in the hopes that maybe he could either D it or just get a piece of it, but that's a nice around outside-in throw. So what we've seen from the FlameThrowers here so far was real steady offense for a little while there, and now they need to start swinging. I would think they need to start swinging the disc side to side and not be holding it in the middle of the field quite so comfortably. Just move the disc here. Move it. Don't tunnel up field. Just get it moving. Get a little feel of flow for everybody. Let everybody touch it. Move the disc.
Sorry, Thompson out to Williams. Plenty of time left in
nice
the half. Gival is tripped by Kulzak. Took his legs out from underneath him there. And Gival will have to walk this one off.
I think he's probably, well, maybe not. I think he's okay.
No, it looked like Kulzak rolled, as he went to ground, he rolled into him.
Well, he basically laid out, he made a bid on a disc that it was going to be tough for him to get. And he either rolled on his ankle.
So look.
He's going to bid here. Gavol knows it's coming. Ouch.
Oh, yeah. Ouch, indeed.
Yeah, probably an ankle roll.
Having seen the replay, it could have been, at least his toe wasn't forced into the ground as the weight of Kulzak came down on top of him. So Gavol is okay for now, but he's on the sideline. The FlameThrowers only dressed 18 players for today's game.
As a player, you anticipate that sometimes. You know that throw was a little bit behind Gavol, so that's why he reached out to grab it. So he is definitely preparing himself for that sort of bid from behind.
Walsh, nice exchange passes now. Walsh with the flick.
Nice.
And Vitiello with the catch for his second goal of the game. So 6 different scores now for both teams here in the second quarter of play.
Sort of a little bit more quick hitter offense there. They are going to swing it all the way to one side, and they're just going to keep moving the dish. Just hit the open guy, hit the open guy, hit the open guy. So he's not going to hold this very long. Immediately throws it. Boom. Goal.
So Vincenzo Vitiello with his second goal of the day trims the Cascades lead to just 1.
On that Gavol contact down there and that injury, the one thing that I was always impressed with when I played Ultimate is you really get a sense that at higher levels of the game, you get a sense as to where other people are. You have a lot of body control. And you really, as a defender, like you really strive not to take guys out. So you're going to bid for something, but you're not going to do it in such a way where you're going to be clobbering the person after you make a layout bid.
Checking on Gival over here on the FlameThrowers sideline. In the meantime, Cascades looking for more with Burson. Nice throw. Hauser with the catch. And that's really nicely done by the Cascades as Bryson Simon Fox makes it 7 different scores now for the Cascades in the quarter.
Reinhardt got isolated out there one-on-one. And Simon Fox puts a little move on him. And Reinhardt is facing the disc and out of position to be able to make a play on that. Simon Fox is he's gonna plant, go out, get him shifting. See how he loses sight there. Reinhardt loses sight of his man, looks at the thrower. It's not like in basketball, you always want to have sight of your man and the ball. In that case, ideally you'd have sight of your man and the disc. Reinhardt's on the correct side of his guy because he knows it's forced forehand. But as soon as his man plants and takes those step out and he turns around, Simon Fox recognizes that he's lost sight of him, so he can go pretty much anywhere he wants.
The only player with more than a goal to his name in the second quarter so far is Eli Kearns, who has 2.
They come out with an initial double team. It's interesting. Let's see if they can get something out of this. Now they're into standard man. Looks like they're just doing it off of that initial pickup spot there. Nathan White is uncovered, but they're really trying to work it to that side. Oh, boy, there's Sanchez. Boy, Steve still working, still getting big chunk yardage there.
Cox in the center of the field.
Kearns. Oh, boy.
And a miscommunication for the FlameThrowers may cost them dearly now as they trail by 2 with just a minute to go in the first half. Cascades led by as many as 4 back in the first quarter of play. And they have a chance to go into the halftime here with a 3-goal lead. It's Khalif El Salam being hounded here by Kevin Cox. Now to Pickle.
You're going to swing it across to the middle. Oh, that is a floater.
Who will come off best in this scenario? It's the FlameThrowers as it's Sanchez swatting it away.
Not a lot of time left here.
Under 30 seconds.
Big fake from Dahlman, opens it up. Wow.
And a brilliant catch there by Cassidy Rasmussen for the goal.
As soon as that turnover, that disc got to Dahlman, Rasmussen started going deep, and he was open. So Dahlman's marker really has to completely overcommit on that first backhand fake. So in this replay, we're probably going to see a giant backhand fake that's going to get the guy on the ground, and then Dahlman with the big forehand shot. Nice catch.
So that goal then with 21.5 seconds remaining in the half.
So you want to stop here is the jump ball. Let's see if the FlameThrowers will sometimes just camp somebody deep. They're bigger guys, so Cohen and Davis are the deepest men here.
Time running out here for the Cascades. It's John Randolph now. It's a Burton. 7 seconds remaining. Will the Cascades have enough time for one more goal? They have a player open on the far right side. It's nicely done. It's threaded in. And it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Simon made a great catch here over on the near side. The goal is given as it was Burton with the catch. But what about the blade there from Simon?
Did Simon's foot land in initially? It looked to me like he was in.
It did look like he was in from here.
I thought he was in. I mean, it was by a toenail if he did it, but I think that he actually landed just in front of the line there. But that was very close.
So the officials are signaling for time to be added onto the clock. And the goal, I believe, Rubes, will stand because it's being put on the scoreboard here.
I mean, they call it a goal, so that was a goal.
So we'll credit that to Simon. That's his second. It's 17-15 Cascades. Let's take a quick look at the replay.
Okay, let's take a look where his foot is here. He's on the line, though. I don't know.
Are we looking at his left foot or his right foot,
his
though,
left foot was, the toe of his left foot was right on the line. So let's see this again here. Look at that. See where his toe is? He's going to catch this disc right there.
So if his toe is on the line,
I don't know. As far as I know, line is not in. I think he needs to be all the way in the end zone.
But
well, he traveled when he threw that, though, so that probably shouldn't have counted either. So that's going to be, wow.
The FlameThrowers are just going to let this one go.
I think Simon thought he was in as soon as he caught it, and that's why he just hopped around and threw that blade kind of willy-nilly.
So time should expire here.
Big one.
Well, hold on.
Wow, this might reach the end zone. That was a great throw. They can tip it.
Goes up in the crowd, and Cohen comes down with it!
Oh my gosh!
Greg Cohen with the play of the half.
Wow!
Halftime buzzer beater.
I think I just blew every speaker in the room up here.
You destroyed the compressor on the channel.
That was a treat. I mean, let's not forget, this is a really good throw. He barely even hits the ground before Peterson just gets this off. Cohen's reading it the whole way. He's coming in behind the play.
And it might have taken a deflection off an outstretched hand. Cohen is there to grab it. All you can say, ladies and gentlemen, is if there's still time on the clock here in the AUDL, don't count anything out because Greg Cohen has trimmed the lead to 1. It's been an entertaining first half here from Laney College as the FlameThrowers were trailing by as many as 4 goals.
That was just like two crazy plays to end that half. That was insane.
Let's go then down to the sideline with Joaquin with a special guest.
Well, we have a half line with Khalif El Salam. Khalif, you guys gave up a goal at half, but you guys do have the lead going into halftime. What has been the big success for you guys coming into this game today?
Increasing amounts of pressure that we put on the throwers downfield, making them earn everything. It's really windy. There's a big field. We have to dive into their legs a little bit, and I think putting forward more effort is the best thing that we're doing right now.
You guys come in with a 3-1 record, but you guys have been able to knock out the Flames for the last 2 years. What has been the success for your team against San Francisco?
I think consistency is the first thing, and our O-line being super consistent, our O-line also having players that we can pull over from D who give us that when we have a couple hiccups. And I think another thing is just having people who want to outwork, having people who are usually underdogs who really want to be in this team and take advantage of this opportunity to play in front of the stands. We tap into their legs and their desire to get open and get that block that we need in the moment. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons.
Final question, you're coming into the third quarter. What does your team have to do to get this win?
We have to keep winning with our legs, keep applying pressure. We have to adjust, right? Make sure that we throw it to the right matchups, make sure we're moving the disc where we want to move the disc, set the pace, and play the ultimate we want to play.
Well, guys, Seattle has a lead at halftime by 1. We'll see what happens in the second half. Back to you.
He sounds like a coach.
He does indeed.
He really does.
And what's interesting, we'll talk about that when we come back here from break, is that Khalif sees the underdog spirit in this team, and that's what they were talking about during that. That's the sort of trait, I suppose, that will put the Cascades over the top. We'll take a break then here at halftime from Laney College in an entertaining AUDL Week 6 matchup. The Cascades of Seattle lead the San Francisco FlameThrowers 17-16 here at halftime. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back with more after these words from our sponsors.
The Bay Area Disc Association is a nonprofit organization that fuels the local development of ultimate Frisbee, with instruction for new players and dozens of high-quality leagues and tournaments that help make the Bay Area a hotbed for this great sport.
Bay Area Disc has dozens of programs for people of all different ages, skill levels. So whether you're a kid just starting out, going to our clinics, or if you're an adult elite club player playing in our Revolution tournaments, we have something for everybody.
Our work is something to be proud of. We make the products people use, the products that make their lives simpler, the high-tech tools to help defend our country, and the innovations that will shape the future. Some say American industry can't keep up anymore. I say our work is proof that made in the USA still means something. The power professionals of the IBEW, proudly American, proudly union.
One of our successes has always been able to find the B personalities, and the B personality just stands for Butler, which means fitting into our organization. We could have been a much bigger company if we had chosen to be, but it's been the philosophy of both myself, Bill, and the leadership team to stay at a size that we really know all of our team members and their family members, because we're only as good as the team member sitting next to us.
The Bay Area Disc Association is a nonprofit organization that fuels the local development of ultimate Frisbee, with instruction for new players and dozens of high-quality leagues and tournaments that help make the Bay Area a hotbed for this great sport.
Bay Area Disc has dozens of programs for people of all different ages, skill levels. So whether you're a kid just starting out, going to our clinics, or if you're an adult elite club player playing in our Revolution tournaments, we have something for everybody.
Our work is something to be proud of. We make the products people use, the products that make their lives simpler, the high-tech tools to help defend our country, and the innovations that will shape the future. Some say American industry can't keep up anymore. I say our work is proof that made in the USA still means something. The power professionals of the IBEW, proudly American, proudly union.
One of our successes has always been able to find the B personalities, and the B personality just stands for Butler, which means fitting into our organization. We could have been a much bigger company if we had chosen to be, but it's been the philosophy of both myself, Bill, and the leadership team to stay at a size that we really know all of our team members and their family members, because we're only as good as the team member sitting next to us.
The Bay Area Disc Association is a nonprofit organization that fuels the local development of Ultimate Frisbee, with instruction for new players and dozens of high-quality leagues and tournaments that help make the Bay Area a hotbed for this great sport.
Bay Area Disc has dozens of programs for people of all different ages, skill levels. So whether you're a kid just starting out, going to our clinics, or if you're an adult elite club player playing in our Revolution tournaments, we have something for everybody.
Our work is something to be proud of. We make the products people use, the products that make their lives simpler, the high-tech tools to help defend our country, and the innovations that will shape the future. Some say American industry can't keep up anymore. I say our work is proof that made in the USA still means something. The power professionals of the IBEW, proudly American, proudly union.
Welcome back to Laney College here in Oakland, and what a first half it was. Seattle with the slight 17-16 lead over the San Francisco FlameThrowers. And as our halftime festivities continue here on the Bay Area Online Sports Network, let's send it down to the third member of our broadcast team, Joaquin Wallace, with another special guest.
We're at halftime, and we're here with Jen Pashley. She was the organizer of the showcase game this afternoon. And Jen, I mean, you guys have a really big following here. Talk about where the sport is going.
Yeah, the sport is a relatively new sport, developed in the 70s, and it's become such an incredible growth over the past few years, and really in the youth scene. So lots of kids playing younger and younger, starting in second grade.
When the sport just started, did you believe that it would have this type of impact so far?
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a great and unique sport where you can play single gender, so men or women. You can play co-ed together, so men and women on the same field. And it's so cool because it's self-refereeing. So you have to organize and sort out the issues and calls on the field with your opponents. And that's the allure that a lot of people have when they want to be involved in the sport.
Jen, how long have you been involved in it?
I've been playing Ultimate for about 12, 13 years. I started in college. I've been a part of Bay Area Disc Association, which is the local nonprofit organization that runs a bunch of Frisbee events, for the past year.
Great time out with the youth uprising game today, and I'm sure Jen was extremely happy about it. As you can tell by the crowd here, really festive crowd. Great job today. Good luck in the future.
Thank you so much.
And that's it. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Joaquin. Jen is also a really good play-by-play announcer too. She might be taking my job here without in due course.
No, I don't think so. She doesn't have your fabulous European, unidentifiable European accent.
Oh, well, thanks. I guess I got that going.
It
for
makes
me
you
at
feel
least.
like it makes the whole thing feel very exotic.
At least somewhat legitimate sounding, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, what an end to the half. Jeez Louise. Like you would think that with a second left, the crazy thing about that Adam Simon goal where he has his foot right in, everybody's sort of looking at each other because they don't know what the call is. But wow.
So we're going to go back down to Joaquin. He's with Coach Yo Kawaoka.
Coach, you guys are down by 1 at half, but you had a big score at the end of the half. What did you tell you guys coming out?
Hey, we played with the right energy all throughout the half. And I think that there were some miscues that we're having on the field, and when we cleaned that up, everything will look good.
I mean, this game here is a very competitive game. They're coming in with a 3-1 record. You're coming in with a 4-1 record. They've been able to oust you guys the last 2 years in the playoffs. Does you guys feel tight right now?
I don't think that's the issue. I think that it's more of some of these players haven't played with each other on these lines yet, and so they're still getting used to the chemistry and figuring it out. It's a little swirly in with the weather as well, but it's getting calm, so I think we got a good second half in store.
So you guys coming into the second half, again, you guys are 4-1. This is a very pivotal game. If you guys can win this game, it puts you in a great position going into the league.
That's right, and when we go back and visit them in Seattle, we want to have that advantage as well, so we're looking to win this game.
Well, the FlameThrowers are down by 1. I'm sure they're going to come out halftime with a lot of energy to get this victory. Good luck, Coach.
Coach Kawaoka, Rubes didn't seem all that concerned, really.
They're only
coming
down
out the
one.
half.
They're only down 1. And like we said earlier, their mistakes are a bunch of self-inflicted wounds there. So if the wind is dying out there, then it's going to make offense a lot cleaner.
Let's take a look then at the replays from the first half. And there were many highlights in this first half, to say the least, Rubes.
This is, early, both offenses looked pretty good, pretty steady, not terribly high risk, high reward. This was sort of where the wheels began to threaten to come off for the FlameThrowers with the Callahan. And then this is Greg Cohen starting to really assert himself over this half of this game. I mean, have yourself a half, Greg Cohen. First, a crazy catch there. Then he stuffs, he hand blocks a long backhand. Then out of a timeout, they run a really well-executed stoppage play. Antoine Davis with a nice block to end the quarter. And then Peterson in a good position to make a D here. This is what makes Ultimate fun, is that you put the disc up and anything can happen. Disc will bounce. And then this is that two-man game from Lou and Reinhardt. Nice, easy give-go goal there. This was this incredible cross-field shot. Man, this was just not only just to find him open, but then to execute that throw. My goodness. Nice D from number 7 on a tough throw from Kearns. This is incredible. Peterson, whack. He sets his feet. His feet hit the ground, and this thing comes out immediately. Cohen, look how far back he is before he starts to make this run in there. Over the crowd. Wow. It seems to me, and there's one of the FlameThrower owners, Josh Greenow. We start the second half.
We are indeed. And going back to that cross-field throw from Cohen, though, how does he... I mean, he's going to line astern of traffic as we go quickly here. Back is Sanchez making a catch. And that's the way that the FlameThrowers, open the second half as they time it up at 17 apiece. There's another goal for Sanchez.
Just keeps getting it done.
What I was going to say, though, briefly, is if he's looking at a line astern of traffic ahead of him on that cross-field throw, is that just instinct?
No, well, I think a lot of it is instinct. He's surveying the field, so if he sort of catches out of the corner of his eye that Davis is going deep on the far side of the field, I mean, that's a really, really hard throw. That's a forced backhand, which means he bent that to the entire other half of the field against a mark whose entire job is to prevent you from throwing it on that half of the field, and he was standing on the forced sideline. It was just an incredible throw.
So first goal of the second half to the FlameThrowers, 17 apiece now
Pretty
the score.
easily executed goal there from the FlameThrowers. That looked like a string play.
So you heard in the interview that Joaquin had with Khalif El-Salam, at the end of that first half, they will win with legs and with heart.
Corks one.
That's a great throw, and it's an
throw.
easy catch for Brad Hauser for his third goal of the game.
That's off a broken mark, a little around break that gives Burton some room, and he throws a backhand on what I think was a forced forehand mark. Nice throw.
Explosive start then to the second half with
both teams.
2 goals in the space of 34 seconds. It took over 2.5 minutes in the first quarter for our first goal of the game. The Cascades reestablish the 1-goal lead. While we've got a quick minute, it had to happen at some point. The Roughnecks lose back-to-back games. They lost in Raleigh tonight.
Wow.
They lost in Jacksonville last night. So the team that went undefeated in their inaugural season, the AUDL, have lost consecutive games for the first time in their history as they lost to Raleigh tonight. So I'll try and get you an updated score on that, but I'm sure that would...
That's going to shake things up a little bit.
It will indeed. So
I wonder if they were missing anybody on that kind of trip. It's a big trip. Well, looks pretty easy here from the FlameThrowers.
Here's Eli Kearns, already with 2 goals in the game. Now over to White.
And around again there. So they settled into swinging it cross field a little bit more. Nice break. Kearns is motoring down there.
Cox is open. So they dump it off to Dahlman. And it's a nice sliding catch made.
Slack it. Oh, easy. Wow.
And Kevin Cox with the goal. So Cox and Sanchez now with a goal apiece for the FlameThrowers. And we're tied up once again.
Pretty clean and easy looking offense there. Just a series of isolations. Work the disc from one half of the field to the other. Isolate a cutter, isolate a cutter, isolate a cutter. Kearns and Sanchez maybe starting to have their way a little bit downfield. Nice and easy. Cox.
With the flame dancing out there all day, all night, not getting cold at all.
It's a good thing Kevin Cox wears that headband because him and Dahlman look like the same guy.
They do indeed.
Don't they? Dahlman's a little skinnier, but they're pretty much the same guy.
I'm noticing now in my third game, there are certainly some characteristics of the players that makes them more easy to identify than others.
Hauser. Oh, wide open inside out.
This might hang up long enough for a bid attempt here, and it's nicely done by Brett Peterson. And that just hung up long enough there, Roops, for him to try and make a play.
That was to Simon Fox, and that's unfortunate because Simon Fox was really, really, really open. If that inside-out forehand is really thrown to a spot with some pace, that's a pretty easy goal. But since it floats a little bit, Peterson, super fast, has enough time to make up ground and make a play on the disc.
I know you just described that in perfect detail, but there it is again.
Here's Davis. Ooh, being double-teamed. That's a foul.
It's committed by Mario O'Brien.
There's a bunch of guys with backward hats and beards for Seattle. It's Clark, O'Brien, and Simon all look alike. Oh,
Cohen.
That was a travel. He got away with it.
And it turned around Mark Burton. Now the FlameThrowers wait for reinforcements to arrive. It's Gavall. Williams to his left. Instead, he looks for
let's
Davis.
See if Davis can go get this. Oh,
and it's swatted away at the final time of asking by Bryson Simon Fox.
Sort of a parallel play there. That was the exact same problem. That's an inside-out forehand that's thrown up that floats. And in this time, instead of Simon Fox getting D's, he goes and he gets the D. This is a floating pass. Oh, Davis just got a finger on it.
And he mistimed his leap by a fraction of a second then.
He definitely got up high enough. He got up over the crowd, but he just couldn't quite pull it in. Oh, you all thought about that.
Dangerous throw there from O'Brien to Clark. Tied up once again here at 18. It's O'Brien.
O'Brien loves to run give-go. There he goes. He loves to make that little move. Ooh, doink. He likes to make that little two-step move upfield to attack upfield and get the disc thrown to him through pretty small cracks. He's good at it.
Wobbly throw there, and Simon Fox couldn't come up with it. So turnover, and now the FlameThrowers have it at midfield with Gavall.
Isolated Vitiello down there, but he's not really open.
Cohen looking left, now back to the right side, frustrated, and a timeout is called.
Good timeout.
So a timeout called in by the FlameThrowers, tied up at 18 apiece here with 8:16 remaining in the third quarter of play.
Kind of a...
We'll get back to that.
Yeah, sorry.
Tonight's game brought to you by the Ultimate Sports Guide, the ultimate in Bay Area sports magazines. Pick up one today at the merchandise tent and check out great coverage for all Bay Area sports. Also, thanks to our friends at Oakland Magazine for everything East Bay. Check out Oakland Magazine, free at shops and stands and filled with great local stories and interviews. And also Mountain Hardware. Get up and out with Mountain Hardware. We have special passes to the employee-only discount store in the East Bay. Pick up one at the box office and go and get beautiful clothing and more than 50% off. It's an invitation-only store. It is not open to the general public, so please ask our staff for an invite.
Do we get an invite?
We should. And I have to say, if you're here, next time you're here to join us at Laney College for FlameThrowers game, be sure to check out the Fist of Flour. Their pizza is outstanding and has certainly won the hearts and minds of the BAOSN crew. I can tell you for sure it's better than the pizza we get at Kezar.
Yeah, if you hear us chewing up here, it's probably going to be that.
That was you at the halftime.
Yeah,
we had to
I turned my mic off.
We had to take his mic away from him.
So a 5-man horizontal stack here again. Oh, nice D. Excellent D.
Outstanding play there by Mitch Kulzak as Rasmussen was unable to come up with a catch. He had a good second attempt at it, too. So some cagey moments here from both teams with it locked up at 18 apiece. It's El Salam in possession. Now out wide to Klein.
Nobody's deep, so they're going to have to work it around a little bit.
How's the energy of the cutters for the Cascades in the second half so far for you, groups?
The O-team cutters look a little tired to me. The D-team cutters look like they have a little more life. Although I don't know who subbed in here on this timeout, so that might have been their... This is their D-team, because they came in and just got that block. Oh, bad throw.
And a poor throw there from Alex Duffel and Eli Kearns.
It's the right idea. Oh, another poorly executed floor. Wow. Oh, boy.
Can Kearns get there? He can, and deflects it away from the outstretched hand of Cam Smith-Bailey.
That's 3 turnovers in the space of about 5 throws. Getting a little sloppy out there. Both teams came out of this half looking really clean. Both of them scored on pretty bang-bang plays, and then things have slowed down a little bit. Oh, boy, that's into traffic.
Schlackett with the catch as he is able to step in front of Alex Duffel.
Cox is isolated deep here. Nice inside-out break. Oh, my goodness. Wow, did that bounce off of Dahlman?
It definitely bounced off. He never had it in possession. If he did, he had the lightning quick release, but I don't think he ever had it in his hands.
It looks like, yeah, that or he threw it really quick, or he just tipped it. Oh, big crossfield blade. Nice throw.
And El Salam with a catch for the goal.
Wow, I want to see if we can see a replay of that turnover there, because what a odd set of circumstances there. It looked like it was kind of a zingy forehand that might have, maybe it bounced off Dahlman, but it was still stayed up, and Cox had a shot at it.
A replay, Supremo.
Oh, it bounced off his hand.
Yeah, it did.
Wow. Oh, Cox had a shot at it too. Wild. And then results in a pretty easy goal there for the Cascades. Jeez. We've seen a lot of interesting stuff this game. Here's that crossfield blade. Salam cashes it in, bounces it off his head.
We have seen some very interesting, well, certainly that we haven't seen in the opening 2 games.
No, that's what I was going to say. It's a lot more turnovers than we've seen, and they seem to come in bunches. That was a series of, what, 3 changes of possession, 2 changes of possession over the course of probably 6 or 7 throws.
I mean, that game against the Spiders in the opener was technically flawless. I mean, you could count on one hand the number of mistakes by both teams.
I think they probably both had something in the ballpark of maybe 10 or 12 turnovers the whole game.
So you need 2 hands then, but
Someone's
still.
wide open. Someone's playing, there we are. Someone was playing center field.
Cohen's open deep.
Yeah, kind of a, I don't know if they're kind of poaching or what's going on for Seattle here, but cross field, there we are. And now they've got 1-man ISO'd. Nathan White's wide open. And there's Dahlman, totally uncovered.
Nice throw
Nice
from Dahlman. To Rasmussen, or to Schlackett, excuse me, for the goal. So Sanchez, Cox, and Schlackett now with goals for San Francisco here in the third quarter of play.
Gotta wonder what Seattle's doing defensively there, unless it's just a lot of switching. It could be just a lot of switching downfield that creates some confusion and some open pockets for FlameThrowers guys to cut into. Normally, you don't see people tremendously open, super duper open like that. Dahlman is unmarked. There's no one within 10 feet of him. So he sort of came out of the end zone there. Once it got to a corner, everybody else sort of crashes in, he slides out, and then he's completely uncovered.
I have to say to you, though, just then you said, I'm not sure what Seattle were doing defensively. When you looked at the body language of the Cascades players after that goal,
yeah,
what does that tell you?
Tells me they're tired. That's a short pull. It is windy out there. That pull only traveled 55 yards.
But you look at the markers on the goalpost, and they're barely moving.
Well, I think that it's we've discussed this before, but the wind out here kind of is in almost in layers. Oh, nice throw.
Donnie Clark.
Oh, yes.
And he makes the catch. And Antoine Davis was there stride for stride, a good display of sportsmanship there. But Donnie Clark comes off the best of that encounter. And that is his second goal of the game.
Another big bladey forehand from Burton. Davis is in position here. Clark is a beefy dude, though. He's big and strong, too. He can take that contact. Looks like he's a little slow getting up, but for the most part, he knows that nothing malicious there. Davis is a big dude, too, so when he jumps up in the air and he knocks you, you're going to go flying.
Well, Clark probably just got a bunch of vulcanized rubber up his nose from sliding on the field turf. So.
He's probably picking it out of his beard right now. That stuff is insidious, man. It gets everywhere.
Especially when it's a new field,
ground
too.
tire, oh my gosh. I shake it out of my cleats when I come home every day.
2019 now. The Cascades still with a nose in front in the game.
Cascades defenders are all playing deep of their man. Oh,
Cox
floater.
over the top. This is going to stay
the double
up.
Team. Look at Cox looking over his shoulder. Oh!
And can't quite get there. Randolph and
foul called.
Doherty sandwiched him on the play.
Cox was tracking Randolph the whole way. So it's a goal. It's a strip. That was a strip. A strip is different from a foul in the sense that a strip is when a receiver actually stops rotation. That's how you define a strip. You catch the disc and you stop its rotation, and then it gets yanked out of your hand, and that results in a goal, assuming let's see if he gets it here. He's going to get his hand on this disc. He's going to go up and close his hand on it. Oh, that was really close. He did close his hand. He did stop rotation. The defender agreed, so that's how you know that they agree. Because when if you actually block a disc that's spinning, it feels different from it does when it stops spinning. So,
sure.
You know how they always say that, like, turnovers in basketball games, the players all know who it was off, but the refs often don't? Same thing with Ultimate. You've played enough. You just have a real feel for the game, so you know what the outcome of a play was, even if the refs might not have the best position to make the call on it.
Locked up then at 20 apiece.
Ooh, there goes Cohen. Got his man, number 7.
Here's Clark. Over to Simon. Now to Burton.
Oh, zingy forehand, nice catch. Oh!
Nicely done by the Cascades. And that's Hendrickson with his first goal of the day, and that's more that traditional Seattle style.
Yep,
catch
move it around.
And throw it and get it moving.
Nice catch. Cohen's in a okay position to make a play on this. He's cutting the angle. Hendrickson reaches out and rips it out of the air before Cohen has a chance to make a play on it.
Cascades back up by 1. 4 goals, for the Cascades, 4 for San Francisco here in the third quarter.
Cohen, ooh, he went up early. Nice catch. Hendrickson went up early on that one. Cohen is running under it, but he didn't even get a chance to jump for it, so I don't think he was going to get a chance to make a play on it. You mentioned earlier that maybe this game will be decided by 1 or 2 big plays, and it's starting to look that way. Oh, got to go 2 there. It's a foul they didn't call. Dahlman just runs right through the defense.
Great run there by Rasmussen. Will stay up, but it's well defended by the Cascades. Rasmussen wants a call, doesn't get it. Nicely defended there by Biener.
Yep, Biener, that's another one of these. We've seen a bunch of these passes to open people that just float more than the thrower anticipates they're going to float. Rasmussen had him beat. If that's a bit of a lower throw, that's a goal. Oh, there's another one.
Oh, and El Salam was diving for that one to try and keep it alive.
Great D by Kearns. Fantastic D by Kearns.
Sanchez took El Salam out of the game. Now did Rasmussen make the catch, or Schlakke make the catch?
made the catch, yep. They didn't call him in.
It was really close, though, again.
I thought, yeah.
Dahlman back to Schlakke for the goal.
In.
Second one for the half for Joel Schlakke.
Little pat on the back there from Lynch. Lynch drove him out. Again, we saw a play like that. You know, Davis on Clark. You know, you're running and you're really trying to make a play on the disc, and if there's a guy in front of you, you're not necessarily watching him, and, you know, you're not doing anything malicious there. It's just some contact. Great D from Kearns there to get it going. This is a little 2-man game here. He's going to dump it and then just immediately run right back to the front cone. Small window, but it works out.
21 all now, with 3:39 remaining in the third quarter of play. San Francisco won the first 4 matchups between these two teams, swept them in that inaugural season back in 2014 when the Cascades were known as the Raptors. But ever since then, the Cascades are the better of the two teams, a 4-2 record, including, of course, the 2 playoff wins. So you know how much this means to the Cascades, with them still very much in this game here in the waning minutes of the third quarter.
Oh.
And that is an easy catch for Rasmussen. One-handed.
He was open deep, 16, number 16 there.
Simon Fox.
Simon Fox, he was open. Just couldn't get the throw around. Oh, nice bid. Gonna take some time here.
That was
While things are a little scattered, see what you can get out of it when the defense is sort of flexing around to deal with the turnover.
That was Reed Hendrickson with that bid, and he had to hustle back then to
nice break.
Keep up with Thompson.
My goodness. Really, really, the sort of mistakes you don't see these guys make. A lot of drops. Drops and throwaways. Nice inside out break.
It's Hendrickson.
Doesn't result in anything. Kind of got lucky there. Oh, crossfield hammer. Oh, my goodness.
Donnie Clark.
Trying to tiptoe in. He's trying to keep his feet in. So he has to concentrate on 2 things. He has to concentrate on a disc coming in pretty quick and keeping his feet in bounds.
And he kicks the goal line marker over in frustration. But there's another error there by Rasmussen as he tries to find Cody Kirkland. So the Cascades with a let-off now. Burton. Quick exchange with O'Brien. O'Brien once again takes a couple extra steps. That's a really nice throw. And a goal there for a fired-up Brad Hauser. That's his second of the half. And his 4th overall on the day.
Cox gambles a little bit there. He comes out to set up a double team. He recognized that O'Brien was really wide open. There was a throw that was thrown out in front of him to space, putting him in a sort of power position where he's got a wide open look at the end zone. So Cox comes out to set up the double team in the hopes of, you know, at least stopping that forward momentum, and results in a goal nonetheless. O'Brien steps through, inside out backhand, nice throw. Byron Lewis sort of got an angle on it. Hauser is very excited, understandably. I think who's got the more grit here is probably going to win this game from here forward, unless the wheels just completely come off some team where they just start throwing it away every possession. Oh, that's a nice throw.
Kearns get to it. Unfortunate. That would have been a highlight reel play without a doubt.
Man, the throws are either a little too high and they float a little too much, or a little too low and they carry just a step or two too long. Oh, he sees this. He's got a shot at it right there. Oh, he got his fingers under it, but not quite enough.
able to get the palm of his hand underneath.
Both teams are looking a little tired here. Oof, that's a foul.
An over-enthusiastic shove there from Dahlman on Smith-Bailey.
Yeah, Dahlman, that disc kind of traveled past both of them, so Dahlman thought he might have a shot at it if he bids for it.
He's hounding Smith-Bailey all the way right here.
Good timeout. Smart timeout.
So timeout is called then with 1 minute and 2 remaining in the third quarter. Cascades leading this game by 1.
So 1:02 remaining.
You don't see, though, Rubes, a team going down by 3 or 4 goals in this game the rest of the way, just with how evenly matched it's been since the middle of the first quarter.
That's a really smart timeout there. Super smart timeout. Because both teams are looking a little ragged, a little tired. You know, not a lot of bounce in their step, particularly from the downfield cutters. It's a pretty key moment here. If they can punch this one in, that 2-point goal, that 2-point lead might be pretty unsurmountable.
Ultimate is a new podcast, Scoopalicious Ultimate, featuring in-depth player interviews, tips on how to improve your game, and the midweek Flamecast, available live on Facebook with reposts later on YouTube. It's a marginal excuse to blab about flying plastic.
Marginal
I love that tagline. I don't know how you come up with stuff like that. Thanks to our friends at AirPark. Park at the airport. Know your car is safe in there when you return. Douglas Parking, the best in local parking.
Well, Gavol's back in, so that's a good sign.
Well spotted. Yeah, he had that collision with a Cascades player back towards the end of the second quarter. So this may be his first. No, he's been on in the third quarter, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, he had longtime trainer Malika worked a little magic on him.
So the Cascades with the single goal advantage now.
I don't think the clock has started.
No, the clock has not started. So
yeah,
now
I think the refs just realized that. So I think it's going to be right around 1 minute, according to the scoreboard here. And they started out at 1:02. 1:02 was where it was when the timeout was called. So it looks like they're setting it to 25 seconds.
That seems a bit.
45. Excuse me. Yeah, I was going to say that seemed like losing a lot of time there. So 45 seconds remaining. Plenty of time to score here. 45 seconds is abundant time.
Yeah, absolutely hounding Tommy Lee
that was
at the
a
moment.
Travel. Oh, that was a stall. Wow. Clock's ticking here. We're at 35.
You got to give full credit there to Brett Peterson. Just refused to let Tommy Lee find any outlet for the disc. And now Gaval will restart.
Around break. Doesn't result in anything. Normally you can turn that into a goal. With a little break like that. They're just going to dink it and dunk it. Oh, cross field. They're sort of playing a little bit of a little four-corner zone here. Not exactly a zone, but sort of a poachy four-corner defense. 6 seconds. There we are.
And Cohen with the goal. There were some very nervous moments indeed there for the Flamethrowers, but Cohen has a goal with 3.9 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play.
Big goal there. That's, you know, it's the difference between a 2-point lead and a tie in a game where it's looking like goals are going to be hard to come by. And as you mentioned earlier, from what we've seen, I can't imagine any of these teams is going to have a run off 3 in a row. I mean, if they do, it's going to be a testament to their ability to really, really dig deep for the remainder of this game for the fourth quarter.
But how the Cascades would have liked to have kept the Flamethrowers off the board at the final moments of this third quarter of play, a goal that could prove decisive over the final 12 minutes or so of this game.
Well, let's not discount this 3 seconds. We just saw the Flamethrowers score with 1.5 seconds.
Right.
Catch the pull, throw it upfield, and then that person just wings it into the end zone. So let's see if he's going to just wing it into the end zone. Yep, there it goes. That's going to be short.
And it's Antoine Davis deflecting it away as the buzzer sounds at the end of 3 quarters complete here at Laney College in Oakland. It's San Francisco 22, Seattle 22. Nothing to choose between these two great rivals as we go into the fourth and final quarter of action here from Laney College. It really is anybody's game at this point, Rubes.
This is the most, I mean, we've watched 3 games here so far. One was a sort of, we've two, one, you know, a good victory over the Spiders. The second, just a drubbing over the Growlers. That game was over by the half. There was no drama.
Yeah.
So I love that we're in the fourth quarter and it's 0-0 at this point. Like, who's got the most gas left in the tank?
Or Rubes with someone who never runs out of juice, the Flame. Let's send it down to him. We'll take a short break and we'll be back in a moment here on BAOSN.TV.
The Bay Area Disc Association is a nonprofit organization that fuels the local development of ultimate Frisbee, with instruction for new players and dozens of high-quality leagues and tournaments that help make the Bay Area a hotbed for this great sport.
Bay Area Disc has dozens of programs for people of all different ages, skill levels. So whether you're a kid just starting out, going to our clinics, or if you're an adult elite club player playing in our Revolution tournaments, we have something for everybody.
Welcome back to Laney College, the fourth and final quarter of action here in what has been a thrilling encounter between two longtime rivals here in the West Division. The FlameThrowers and the Cascades tied up 22 apiece. It's going to be a battle of attrition now over the final 12 minutes. Who has enough remaining in the tank to push themselves over the line? And these are the sort of games, Rubes, that will ultimately define your season.
Yeah, it's oh boy, nice string play.
Great throw from Randolph to Clark for the opening goal of the fourth quarter, and Seattle get their noses back in front. And Clark has a goal in each quarter now for the Cascades.
Yeah, Danny Clark, great D player, goal scorer. He's one of these like very fast athletes that you isolate in space and you give him room to work, and he makes other teams pay. He started that play just sort of by taking Antoine Davis deep, then someone fills in the space that he's just vacated, and he creates enough separation downfield for a relatively easy pitch and catch for the goal here. So, and he's already taken his man down. This throw goes to the middle of the field, and then a little around forehand, and he's got a good 6, 7, 8 yards on his man, and Antoine Davis is no slouch.
He had 42 goals in 2016, 21 assists, 11 blocked, and played 306 points. Most of them are on offense.
Ooh.
Now back
big
the other
shot
way.
to Sanchez. Nice catch.
Sanchez with a fine catch as he's able to outleap Mitch Kulzak. And no time wasted by either team here. 20 seconds gone in the fourth quarter and a goal apiece.
Just like the beginning of the third, right? One team comes out, throws a relatively easy kind of bang-bang goal, and then the other team answers. Same thing, bang-bang goal here. It's an outside-in forehand to a spot. Let Sanchez run under it. Nice timing on it. He goes up before his man can jump. Easy.
Helps Kulzak up off the deck. 23 all now.
I think this game might be decided by like 2 goals at this rate. It could just be whoever gets the last break wins, or whoever has the disc last wins. It might be the final possession of the game that decides it.
Cody Kirkland gets us back underway.
Ooh, nice coverage on the pull. Vitiello comes down and forces it off of Simon. They're pushing Clark under. Davis is pushing Clark underneath, so they give him that space. And there goes Clark. There goes Clark. There goes Clark. There goes Clark.
2 goals in the quarter, 5 overall for Donnie Clark. And the Cascades back up by a goal.
Donnie Clark, my goodness. Antoine Davis had pushed him underneath. He came all the way underneath. He caught maybe a 15-yard gainer, and he gets a switch to Byron Liu, and then he just runs. He just starts heading downfield, and Liu can never quite catch him, and then it's up to the rest of the Seattle offense to move the disc into a position where you have a thrower who's got a nice, easy look to him. There he is again. He's got a good 10, 15-yard gap. Liu gave up on that pass because he knew it was beats. That's part of the reason that that gap is so wide, but maybe Donnie Clark's the guy that's got the most gas left in the tank for this quarter. He's just proved it on the last 2 plays.
What's interesting, though, is coming into tonight's game, Clark wasn't even in the top 6 of goal scorers for the Cascades.
Really?
And he has 5 tonight.
Gosh, I found that surprising.
And another thing, too, Rubes, that may be surprising is Mark Burton has yet to score a goal for the Cascades
tonight. That is
tonight.
really surprising, yes. He is an accomplished goal scorer.
And he had 40 goals last season.
Yeah, like I said, that guy has been a primary option goal scorer. Oh, there's going to be somebody to make a play. That's a foul. Yep.
Dahlman and
Simon Fox. Now, Simon Fox, or that's Doherty, I'm sorry. Doherty he saw that play coming, so he's going to drop into this passing lane in the hopes of making a play on it. Unfortunately, he ends up really clobbering Dahlman on the play.
That's a slick piece of camera work there. Dahlman is not best pleased and also looks to be
shaking his leg out a little bit there. He got clobbered, but I think he managed to hold up before he really went in there at full speed. Nice D up front from Salam.
Wobbly throw that to...
They're trying to force it to Cassidy Rasmussen.
Yep.
Oh, there it is.
That's a goal for Nathan White. But a wobbly throw to Schlock. It almost put the FlameThrowers in danger there of coughing up the opportunity to goal, but instead they tie it up again. And how many times today has this game been tied?
Many. Oh, man.
Kolzak there was so disappointed with himself.
He had a shot at that. He read that. If that throws a little bit lower, he might be able to get that. They're working in really tight spaces. That was that wobbly throw you're talking about. Like, you don't want to necessarily throw something to someone who's, like, within arm's length to you because it's hard to get it off with spin, hard for them to be able to catch it. That's me clapping because that's the sound of catching. I'm imitating what it feels like.
Sure.
You want to have a little more room, ideally. You don't want to have to throw these little pocket passes, but...
Our roving cameraman, Matty Highlight, is definitely getting the shots. I can't believe they let him so close to the players when he's on the field. They're throwing the pulls. And our other roving Supremo, Derek Rospe.
Nearly a stall.
Can't believe it.
Nice. Around, sort of forehand to space. Little Blady forehand out to a spot.
Well, we see the Cascades
tend to work it here.
Step away from the frantic opening pace of the first 4 quarters and use this opportunity to slow it down. Now that was Simon. He seemed to slow up there.
Perhaps a timeout or an injury. It looked like
he stopped straight away as soon as he made that catch. It looked like he planted his right foot and he stopped. So let's see.
Yeah,
seems to be all right.
He's probably okay, but he could be cramping. Or just nursing something, maybe a little groin or something. There's Clark across the middle. Oh,
great catch.
Oh, Cohen with a nice bid. He kind of squished the backs of Burton's legs there. Burton's legs. Burton's saying it's okay. And so they're discussing it here. Burton's a little peeved, understandably. Cohen's not a small dude to fall on the back of your legs.
This is interesting, though, for the Cascades, because in the space of 15 seconds, Simon hobbles off, and now Burton also in the wars as well.
Got clobbered.
Let's see how Burton moves now as he tries to elude Cohen downfield.
Nice crossfield forehand. Inside out, nice.
Great
pocket.
throw.
Oh, that's a floater. Oh,
And Antoine Davis can't quite get there, but the man who can is Donnie Clark. A hat trick now in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
And that has to be a special throw to elude Antoine Davis.
It's a special throw and a special receiver to go get that, too. I thought Davis got that. I thought he might have actually gotten a little finger on it. This throw comes out with a wobble. Oh, man, he just missed that.
Millimeters away there was Antoine Davis from deflecting that. He knows it as soon as he gets up, but Donnie Clark is having an inspired game now with 6 goals on the day.
You can be the best defender in the world, and it does not matter if you are facing a team with throwers that can put a disc in a spot where you can't make a play on it. And also throwers have a lot of faith and a lot of belief in the person that they're throwing to is going to catch it. So it doesn't matter how well covered Donnie Clark is necessarily, they're sort of forcing the disc to him. They really believe that he's going to go and get it every time they put it up to him. And Antoine Davis, as we've seen, he is a very, very, very good defensive player, but it's not really taking effect, and you're not showing that. El Salam's doing a really good job on... El Salam's doing an excellent job on Rasmussen. That was Rasmussen ISO downfield. That was a travel.
And Klein, that forces you to mistake out Schlackett at the other end. He can't make the diving catch. Now the Flamethrowers have to disc back.
They just got to start running here. Just
9 minutes to go.
Here comes Dahlman right down the middle. Keep it moving. Oy. My goodness. Oh,
Wow,
nice
great
catch.
by Rasmussen, one-handed.
He comes around for the forehand, 2 guys.
Cox gives chase. Oh, and he can't hold on. Did the ground force the disc out of his grip? It looked like he made the catch as he went to ground.
I think it did. That pass might not have been to him. That might have actually been to Schlackett, who's behind him. Schlackett's got an easy goal here. Oh, no, he lost it before he hit the ground.
Yeah.
I don't think that throw was to him.
And that's the look afterwards.
And that's the look saying, darn it, that was, wow, another drop. It is getting messy out here, folks.
Dahlman has the disc for the Flamethrowers.
Flamethrowers end zone O has been looking a little scattered. Wow.
And another drop.
Oh,
and
my gosh, that wasn't a foul? That looked like a foul to me.
Even still, that was going to be a real tough catch for Schlackett to make diving
he gets
away.
His
Let's
legs
see.
taken out for him, right? Okay, so Seattle, so it's an integrity call, which is a great call. They recognize that that's number 89, that's Sam Pickle. He knows that he fouled Schlackett coming across. The ref didn't call it, so Pickle is essentially calling a foul on himself. Man, Salam has been doing a great job on Rasmussen. You see how Rasmussen is isolated there in the front of the end zone? Ooh!
It's a goal for Schlackett. That would be his second. Well, actually his fourth, excuse me. He had 2 back in the first quarter. So 4 goals for him on the day. And it's 25 all.
It's nice to see those integrity calls made when, when you have the chance. Like, that was my first instinct upon seeing that play, is that was a foul. This is a tiny window. Oof. Man. Pickle nearly had that.
But also the sportsmanship involved when you've got essentially, I know it's early in the season, but the season's on the line. I mean, this defines the season one way or the other.
I know, because this could swing. I mean, if you could start seeing some of the teams pulling away from one another if the, Spiders win tonight or the Aviators win tonight. But great. I loved seeing those integrity calls. Oh boy, some of these cutters are tired.
Clark isn't. He steps
Clark
away from
is
Davis.
Not. It's true.
And now he stepped away from him again. Davis is wide open, or Clark was wide open as he turned around on Davis. He's working to the far side.
There he goes. Oh, nice D by Davis there.
It's a good throw into space in the center now. Oh! And that's a really nicely worked goal. Randolph there picks out Burton for his first goal, and what a time for his first of the evening for Mark Burton. You would pop up sooner or later, right, Rip?
Yes, definitely. A long way to go here. 7 minutes is a long way to go. Both teams are looking a little tired. Oh, man, if Byron Lou's got a little more spring in his step, he's cutting the angle on that. He might have a chance to do that. Burton is very fired up. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Trying to see if there's an update on the
Aviators.
Yeah.
Spider's name.
The pull is up.
It's a short pull. Yeah, it's a lot windier once you get the disc about 15, 20 feet off the ground. You can really see it with the upwind pulls because that thing barely traveled 40 yards.
Cascades back up.
Oh, nice
by a goal.
move by
Nicely
Nathan
done.
White. Want to get it off the line here. Continue. There's no continuation. The continuation has been a hard time coming. There's El Salam, who's been really doing an excellent job on Rasmussen.
Nice throws here by the FlameThrowers.
Nice inside out. Little air bounce. A nice fake from, great fake from Dahlman. Nice
And
fake.
Put it into space where no one other than Kevin Cox could catch it. Another very well worked goal by the FlameThrowers. We are tied.
I would love to see the replay of those fakes because that's like a clinic on how to throw fakes. The thing that makes fakes like that effective is that at the very end of your throwing motion is when you pull it back in before you release the disc, and Dahlman does a great job of this. He's going to get the disc in space. This is a really nice inside out. He's going to fake a forehand, fake it inside out. He got his defender completely turned around and totally overbalanced to one side. Easy throw to Cox. Now, in his defender's defense, so to speak, he is in the middle of the field. But yeah, great replay. I'd love to see examples of that show the skill of the players out here.
Wow.
What's up?
Ready for the surprise of the day?
I am.
Aviators up by 5. 19-14 the score.
And there's Clark again.
And it's Clark with another catch.
Not a surprise. Man, Clark is just killing these guys in the second half. He is just crushing them. They tried somebody else on him. They just put Devin Williams on him. And Williams also comes off beaten for a goal.
I stand corrected.
Oh, okay.
It's the other way around.
Oh, that's okay.
The Spiders game day Twitter is a little confusing. With they
put wonky.
Let me confirm this. Yes, it's Spiders by 5. They lead 19-14. That's the latest update on the Spiders game day.
And they started at 7 p.m., right?
They did.
So they're
That's
about
correct.
an hour behind us.
Yep.
They're probably maybe in the third quarter or maybe just finishing up the half, probably.
And Growlers and the Riptide completing the West Division matchups for tonight. So we'll try and get a score there as the Riptide try not to go 0-7 on the season as the two bottom dwellers in the West Division do battle here tonight.
Nice around break to Kearns. Ooh, nice inside out. Dahlman's been doing a good job of getting rid of the disc and then attacking upfield. He's sort of in a handler position, a handler role. Oh, boy.
It's really all Schlacker could do there was try and swipe it away from Doherty, who had a step on him in the advantage.
Dahlman's high release backhand there that he's been throwing is sort of sailing a little bit on him. That one certainly did. I don't think that's where he wanted us to put that. And we've seen him throw a couple into the end zone, at least one into the end zone that got D'd. So, yeah, it's a foul on Schlackett. Yeah. Salam has been doing an excellent job on Rasmussen. Rasmussen is often setting up at the front of the end zone in their end zone O. And Salam shuts him down. And then Dahlman, as I mentioned earlier, is attacking upfield and scores.
So Dahlman with his first goal since the second quarter. He has 4 total.
Ooh, he gets his defender completely turned around. So he runs his defender to the break side, takes a couple steps to the break side, makes his defender commit, and then plants and runs to the force side for the inside-out backhand.
So it's coming down to the business end of this one now. Under 5.5 minutes. These teams have traded goals.
Look at their shirts. Their jerseys are really blowing.
Yeah, well spotted.
I think the wind might have picked up out there.
Sun is now set here in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Sunk? Is it sank or sunk? I can never remember. The sun is now sunk? Sank?
It's now sunk behind the horizon.
Sunk. There's Clark. They're pushing him under.
Great throw.
Oh!
Gavall with a D, and he's hobbling around on that ankle. You know, it took everything.
Yeah, he has definitely got a little hitch in his giddy up there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. That's a big-time play from Gavall.
Lefty backhand. Kirkland continue. There we are. He's got to keep it going now. He wants to dump it. Marker comes all the way around. Smart.
To get rid of that quickly. Cox has it now for the FlameThrowers.
He had Antoine Davis, but he looked him off. Here's Gavall for the around continuation. Sawyer Thompson was open deep.
Cox is open too.
Oh, he has to force that. Nice. I don't know what he's looking at here, Byron, but Byron Liu. They really want to keep it on that side of the field. Timeout called.
Timeout called, and with 4:27 remaining in the fourth quarter of play. 4:27 remain, 27 all the score. Back with more after this.
Our work is something to be proud of. We make the products people use, the products that make their lives simpler, the high-tech tools to help defend our country, and the innovations that will shape the future. Some say American industry can't keep up anymore. I say our work is proof that made in the USA still means something. The power professionals of the IBEW, proudly American, proudly union.
Welcome back to Laney College. The FlameThrowers and the Cascades.
After a timeout, FlameThrowers sub in their O-line. Cascades sub in their D-line.
Waxy Supply, the most trusted source in clean, brings you the cleanest score of the quarter.
Well,
and I feel that's still yet to come.
They are hoping for the clean score here, that's for sure. Oof, man, that was a little bit of a quicker than you want. Rasmussen's got it. He's one of the most threatening throwers.
Got it by El Salam. There we go. This is going to hang up a long time. Positioning underneath and through the hands of
Eli Kearns.
Eli Kearns.
That's a very, very, very difficult catch he was going to have to make over a crowd. It looks like Klein's a little taller than him. That throw just hung. Not a good throw. They're going to have to knuckle down here. FlameThrowers, oh, might get a stall here.
They're going to have to go quick.
Oh, they called another timeout. Wow.
And that had to be with...
That's with like a half second left.
A fraction of a second. Dahlman already has his hands up to celebrate the stall, and you can see as he walks back to the bench how fired up he is, pulling the shirt up and then clapping his hands in disgust.
I thought he was going to get it, too.
Ultimate is a new podcast, Scoobalicious Ultimate, featuring in-depth player interviews, tips on how to improve your game, and the midweek Flamecast, available live on Facebook with reposts later on YouTube. It's a marginal excuse to blab about flying plastic. Please support our fine food trucks, Fist of Flour and La Katrina Taqueria. Get the pepperoni pizza. It's always good.
Taqueria, mate.
Taqueria, you like that?
Yeah.
Office Relief. I've never seen that before in my life, but they're ergonomic experts.
Ergonomic experts, and it's actually run by a bunch of former Las Positas College Ultimate players that I've known for a long time.
So, Matt, you
Great
do
company.
that read next time.
I will read next time. They give you some sweet chairs. Oh, my gosh. So...
Thank you for taking
yeah, no worries.
the lead on that one, Rubes.
If the Cascades pull this out, I'm going to give a lot of credit to two people for this fourth quarter, which are Donnie Clark. That's obvious because he's really been asserting himself offensively, scoring goals. But Khalif El-Salam's defense on Rasmussen has been exceptional. Every time that the FlameThrowers have come out in an end zone O with Rasmussen at the front of the stack, he has not scored. And I think maybe either he's tired or it might be getting to his head a little bit because that last throw from him was not good. Oh, big inside out, floating backhand. Here's El Salam.
Giving chase.
Oh my goodness, he went up way too early.
And he knew, though, that,
yes, he did.
that Devin Williams was closing in.
But he could have kept running. He definitely could have kept running on that one. Now this is the D team. They should just take a shot here. Burton poaches underneath. There you are. And then send Cohen deep. There we are. Oh,
There's Cohen.
He's just taking the shot.
Oh, losing in the lights.
Oh, somebody just got a piece.
You could see Williams shading his eyes there as he put his right hand up.
I think Tommy Lee just ticked it. I think Tommy Lee just ticked that.
Either way, you saw Williams looking back up. He had to shield his eyes. That minute adjustment might have cost him the catch there.
Man, clock is ticking here. Less than 3 minutes.
Yep.
This is a big possession here.
Nerves of steel required now by both teams with less than 180 seconds remaining in this one.
Oh, gets off a nice break.
Oh! That is a spectacular play from Hauser.
Nice break, too. Nice inside-out break. Oh, big bomb.
Going up top.
Oh, Peterson. Oh!
And Hauser drops it. Peterson tipped it. Hauser still could have made the catch. He can't come up with it.
Wow. Just enough from Peterson. He's coming off. Peterson looks like he's injured. That's probably a cramp, or I'm betting that's a cramp. He's on the sideline with Malika Anderson right now. She'll be tending to him. He just probably jump. At this point in the day, if you're near cramping, that will make you cramp. Jumping always makes you cramp. He looked off Cohen right there. Kearns just looked off Cohen for some reason. Yeah, there we are. He hit him. He's super open. Kearns is open up line. No, that's not happening. There's Davis in the middle. Very nice.
Thompson's open downfield.
Oh.
He's still...
Walsh was open. Man on.
Oh, Salam!
Oh!
With the D. Wow.
Incredible layout block. When I say man on, that means go get it. Because that throw was to Williams, but El Salam was closing on it, and Williams did not get a chance to go to it because that was not his man that got that D. Oh,
and now they go up top for Burton. Can he make the catch? He can't.
Oh, that's a foul.
VTLO ran into him. He's shaken up.
My goodness, dropping like flies out here.
War of attrition now in the final quarter, and VTLO appears to be in some distress here, Rubes.
Yeah, he does not look good.
And Burton is hurt as well. He's favoring that right shoulder, but concern here for VTLO.
Anderson's looking at his calf. It's an inside-out break. And this is the big flick that Peterson just makes just enough of a play. I don't even know if he touched this. Let's see if he touches this. He missed it.
Oh, he did miss it. He missed it the second attempt, too.
Second attempt, too. But he definitely is cramping there. That's a cramp. When you go up like that, and this is an incredible D. Good golly. You notice that Williams is sort of running away from the play a little bit. He's running away from the play, but Salam is recognizing that he's open, so he is completely selling out to come underneath to get that.
And
VTLO just probably either injured his ankle or his calf.
Yeah, he seems to be in
some pain.
Yes, sir.
But at this point in the game, I mean, we've played. What is it? We have 1:15 left. It's 4, so we played 46 minutes of Ultimate. And the FlameThrowers were coming in shorthanded initially. They only had 18 men dressed. And as we said, a lot of them had revolver tryouts this morning. So I'm not surprised guys are cramping. Oh.
In the meantime, El Salam.
What an incredible D. Wow. Amazing D on Williams.
Crucially, though, Rubes, it's given the Cascades the lead once again with under 75 seconds remaining in the game.
If this goes to overtime, I think we're going to have to roll an ambulance out on the field to get these guys off after it's done at this rate.
Everyone on their feet now at Laney College for the conclusion of this one.
Definitely giving the fans their money's worth here. This has been a very exciting game. Just a little easy, sort of a push pass, like almost a backhand dish El Salam.
You know what, though? He looks as fresh now as he did in the first quarter of play, and we can't really say that much.
He's a college player, and he's at the tail end of his college season. He plays for University of Washington, so he's definitely in good shape. Or he's still playing college in addition to playing pro and undoubtedly for soccer. Well, I think he plays for Mixtape in Seattle, which is a mixed team. Another injury. My goodness. Dropping like flies.
So who is it this time?
That's Kolchak? I'm not sure how you pronounce his name.
Kolchak, yeah.
Kolchak, yeah.
Kolzak.
Number 37. He's worked his way to the sideline already.
It really is.
Everybody is cramping.
A battle now.
Everybody is cramping. Got to just continue this. I don't know why they're looking that off. My gosh.
Getting away with one there is Kearns.
There's a foul. Another injury. Wow. Here they go. Yep.
This time it's Schlackett coming off.
So for Seattle, it's that travel. Travel is brutal on the body. It just makes everything harder. And I think for most of these Revolver guys, it's the fact that they probably played 3 hours of Ultimate earlier today.
Clock rolling now, under a minute, under 45 seconds remaining.
Got to just swing it.
FlameThrowers need a goal in this possession.
Boy, they're looking off open guys. I feel like they need to just look to continue here and not tunnel up field quite so much. Just take the easy play.
And Clock that came so close to making a big play himself.
Ooh, 22 seconds left. Wow.
FlameThrowers have to hurry this up a little bit now.
No, they want to milk this here. They want to milk it until the only people that have the opportunity to score. Nice fake. Oh boy, here we go. Oh!
And
oh my gosh, that flew over Kevin Cox's.
It floats through his hands. The
That
Cascades
went right through Kevin Cox's hands.
have it, and the Cascades
Oh my
will take
gosh.
an unbelievable victory and a straight battle in the fourth quarter. They come out on top. And no
Wow.
shortage of heroes for the Cascades.
I'll
Donnie
say.
Clark and Khalif El Salam among
yeah.
them, but a team
Wow.
effort.
Clark has got to be the player of the
Yeah,
game. I mean, with that coming
that-
out in that fourth quarter and just going 3 goals, bang, 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 puts the team on his back. Wow, I cannot believe how that ended. That throw, I'm pretty sure, just zipped right through Kevin Cox's hands.
Well, we did say you need to, they may have needed to hurry things up.
Yeah, I mean, they had time to score. They were trying to just put it up so that they're going to be the last people to don't give them any time left. Don't give them an opportunity to score. So you just possess the disc, and then throw it into the end zone to an open guy. They had one there. But, wow. That was just an amazing, that's some serious mental fortitude from the Cascades to come down here and pull this one out.
Well,
like
I think Roots, they had the advantage, though, of having won 4 out of the last 6, and of course having the 2 playoff victories. I know it's a completely different season.
Here's this play. So let's see what happens here. Dolan's going to throw a backhand right over. I don't think he thought it was for him. Can we see that again? Because I think Cox actually, he's got his hands up, and then watch, he's going to pull him down at the very last second here.
Because he's
He does not think this throw is for him. Watch this. He's going to pull his hands back. Oh, for me? No, not for me. He didn't think that throw was to him.
So he thought it was intended for Rasmussen.
But you know what? In that situation, you just got to go get it. Just go get it. Wow.
And
what an incredible way to end that game.
You know who the calmest man on the field there was?
Who?
Was Bina, who made that catch. I mean, he had to make the safest two-handed catch of the day, which he does. And with that catch, he seals a remarkable victory here for the Cascades. Joaquin Wallace is down on the field with Donnie Clark. Joaquin, take it away.
We're here with Donnie Clark. Donnie, you guys came down here from Seattle, victorious with a very spirited match tonight. Talk about that.
We came down here to grind against a really good team. We knew that they were going to bring it because they're leading the Western Conference right now. So we knew we had to bring the grind, we had to bring the grit, but also, like we always like to play Ultimate, is we had to bring the spirit too.
You guys have had quite a bit of success against the FlameThrowers, knocking them out of the playoffs the last 2 seasons. You come into the game 3-1. They were up 4-1. What did this mean in the standings?
This is going to put us in a much better place. I'm excited. It gives us a much better future goal of the season. Every practice is going to make us grind harder. We can see a goal in mind. It's going to be amazing at every single practice and every game for the rest of the season.
You've had a tremendous game with 7 goals tonight. I mean, talk about that.
It was just all about the grind. That's what we preach in the silence. We preach at every practice. I think they got a little tired at the end, and that's when we ramped up.
Well, you guys came away with the victory. 4-1 now. That drops the FlameThrowers of 4-2. So I'm sure you guys are going to feel good with your next game.
I think so. I think we're going to come out with a lot more fire at our next game. This game we came out with a lot of fire, but we kind of lulled, and I don't think that's going to happen next time.
Well, you heard it here. Cascades came down with a victory in a very hostile environment. They're 4-1 right now. They're in control of the Western Division. Back to you guys.
Wow.
Thank you, Joaquin.
Woof. My goodness.
Well, talk about putting the team on
your back.
Yeah, that was Donnie Clark in that fourth quarter, and I hate to say it, Rubes, but the FlameThrowers after tonight have only 4 games remaining at home. One of those is against Seattle. They'll play them twice more before the end of the season. And now all of a sudden that game on July 15th here, the final home game of the season for the FlameThrowers, now might be for the division.
I don't think if you're the FlameThrowers, you can anticipate or look forward to anything except the next game at this point. Coach Kawaoka's had his hands full in the sense that he's had a rotating cast of characters almost every game. There's somebody who's not here. There's the guys are in. You got guys in Minnesota. You got, I don't know where Mac Taylor is. Maybe he's in Spain. I don't know. Where in the world is Mac Taylor? Kittredge, did he play very much in the second half of this game?
I don't think we saw him that much at all. I mean, he featured
so
a little bit in the first half, but he's been, I mean, in the last 2 games against the Growlers and now tonight against the Cascades, he's been noticeably absent.
Yeah, I mean, he has not had a big impact on these games really at all. So the guys who have been up until now having the biggest impacts are newer guys. Like, Rasmussen in general has always been a big impact player. But tonight in this last quarter, I think Salam, Donnie Clark on the offensive side, incredible in the second half. But Salam defensively not only was shutting down Rasmussen, comes through with that insane layout D. And those 2 guys, wow.
And that might have been the play that sealed it for.
It might have been, yeah.
Not so much the throwing error at the end by the FlameThrowers, but the D by El Salam. But let's take a look at the highlights, because there certainly were many of them in the second half for these 2 teams.
So in a round break now, Rasmussen here is still kind of dealing. This is a nice throw for an easy goal. Sanchez goes up and gets it. And then there's Hauser. Hauser had a really good game. Easy one, just Cohen. Man, I thought Cohen was his heroics. I thought Cohen's heroics that really sort of put him on his back in the first half was gonna bring it on home. Sanchez another goal. Oof, man. These goals everything is very tightly contested. Everything is tightly contested. Look at this. You got people who are fingertips away from making Ds on both sides of the field. Byron Liu is actually cutting the angle there. He's going to the right spot. Like, it really was sort of a game of inches today in a lot of ways. It's a couple of nice fakes. Great backhand fake that opens it up. But there's still a defender in the neighborhood there. See that? There's always defenders that were in the neighborhood for all these plays. And then this is when Clark really starts to just completely take over.
You could have read all the form books in the world coming into this 2017 AUDL season, Rubes, but it's safe to say the form book has been turned on its head, first in this game tonight, but also the way that the Spiders have performed this season.
Yeah.
And even a team like Dallas isn't immune to losing a game or 2.
Incredible block. Wow, Salam just full extension layout. He read that the whole way. He cashes in the goal. That ends up being your game winner right there.
And then his final play of the game.
Oh my gosh, Cox has got to be kicking himself here. He could have got that.
You're right, though. The way he brings his hands down, he's just letting it go.
I mean, it's really just sort of a split-second bang-bang play, but either it's possible that he's just anticipating that throws past him. When you're out there cutting and you are and someone throws a disc to you, you really expect it to be in a place where you can catch it. So if it's like whistling over your head or something like that, you sort of have this moment of doubt that maybe it's not to me. And that's all it takes. That moment of doubt is all it takes, because that disc is coming by you with some pretty decent pace. You're not going to get a chance to catch it.
The FlameThrowers then, not the way that they expected to start this 4-game homestand with a 28-27 loss to Seattle. We'll next see the FlameThrowers in 7 days from now on a Sunday afternoon here at Laney College as they welcome the winless, at the moment at least, Vancouver Riptide to town, as the FlameThrowers now fall to 4-2 overall. Seattle improves to 4-1, and with the Spiders leading at last check over the Aviators, they will be on top of the West Division, assuming that result stands down there in Los Altos. So for our crew, Jim Petramili, our director, our sideline reporter, Joaquin Wallace, and our color analyst, Matt Ruby. My name's Stephen Davies. Your final score once again, Seattle Cascades 28, the San Francisco FlameThrowers 27. We'll see you back in 7 days from now here at Laney College as the FlameThrowers welcome the Riptide to town. From all of us here on BAOSN.TV, ciao for now.